Be that long. Do 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 do.
Okay, that's what I got to do in absence of theme music. Hey, everybody! Good evening out there. Happy Friday! We made it through another week. Yay! Woohoo! It's another episode of Midnight's Edge After Dark, live, coming to you via the internet. Yay! Everybody clap! Yay! We made it through another week.
Broadcasting worldwide.
Yes, coming to you via the internet. Of course, narrator stream, Mr. Rob Robot Shlomo. With me as all, yes. With me as always is my good friend. Shit, I'm trying to silence the stream here. With me as always is my good friend.
What the fuck is going on over there?
Yeah.
Are you getting a blowjob or something?
Yes, I'm self-filleting.
He's done a very bad thing.
Yes.
That's a Police Academy reference there.
So broadcasting from Shabby Road Studios and in the heart of who knows where. With me as always is Mr. Tom Connors.
Hey. Awkward.
Gary's in the chat. Hey, Gary, Slurry Peanut.
Hey, Gary. He's at the gym.
Yeah, it's not yoga when I do it. It's bloga. That's the bad joke.
Beloga.
And with us always is the lovely, vivacious, and ebullient Mecha Random Game User 42.
Hello, I'm here.
I think I just learned 2 new words today.
Yes, I come on. The way I'm selling it, you got to give me a bit better intro than that. Come on.
Happy birthday, Master President.
Okay, we got a jam-packed show for you, and if we don't, I'm lying, just to make it sound better, so that you don't go and watch, Ethan Man Skyver or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, let's kick it off. Chuck Wendig has been fired.
Yay!
Okay.
Yay.
The crowd went wild.
And the crowd and there was much rejoicing. Yay! Star Wars comic writer says Marvel fired him for social media behavior. This is going from the Hollywood Reporter. Chuck Wendig says he was removed from the Shadows of Vader series with 2 issues left unwritten over the negativity and vulgarity of his tweets. And that his tweets bring. Chuck Wendig, the New York Times bestselling. This guy's a New York Times best-selling author. You got to be kidding me.
It doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much anymore.
Anyway, Chuck Wendig, New York Times bestselling author of Star Wars Aftermath series of novels, has been fired by Marvel Entertainment. He said on Twitter Friday that leaves the fate of a number of previously announced Star Wars projects that he was attached to left uncertain as a result. In a series of tweets, Wendig, who was working on both the 5-issue Shadow of Vader miniseries and an additional, as of yet announced, Star Wars series for the publisher, revealed that he had been fired by Marvel in the middle of his work on the titles because, in his words, of the negativity and vulgarity that my tweets bring. That's how I imagine Chuck Wendig speaking. Seriously, that's what Mark Paniccia said. The editor said it was too much vulgarity, too much negativity on my part. Previously, Wendig had written Hyperion and an adaptation of Star Wars The Force Awakens from Marvel. Wendig has been outspoken about his liberal political views on Twitter. On October 7th, he drew attention of well-known conservative personalities such as Ben Shapiro and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza with a series of tweets surrounding the confirmation of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who had been accused of sexual assault. In one tweet, which he later deleted because he said it had become a funnel for harassment, he wrote, "Winter is coming, you callous fucknecks."
And I was waiting for funnel of fuck. I should write that down.
Yes,
funnel.
Right, funnel of fuck. Funnel of fuck tartary or whatever. You prolapsed as He will. You grotesque monsters, you racist and rapists and wretched abusers, you vengeful petty horrors.
Oh my good God.
Dear God. I've said some outlandish shit on Twitter,
Holy
but that
shit. Wow.
Yeah.
He's making Ryan Johnson look tame.
Oh yeah, he's been going after people for months and months and months, just getting into it. He was getting into it before Last Jedi even came out, according to one article I was reading. You know, and even back into like March, he was like going on this massive blocking campaign of all the fandom menace sort of people.
Yeah. Anyway, continue, Rob. I was taken aback there myself, and I mean, I'm a
we all are. Wendig's firing comes 3 months after Marvel parent company Disney fired James Gunn as director of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 over old offensive tweets that had been resurfaced by conservative personalities. Wendig is no stranger to controversy within Star Wars fandom, with the writer being targeted by a vocal here we go with Hollywood Reporter, with the writer being targeted by a vocal minority after introducing one of the franchise's first canonically gay characters in his 2015 novel Star Wars Aftermath. His outspoken response to that pushback, calling those that complain the shitty, oppressive, totalitarian empire, combined with his openness about discussing real-world politics on social media, made him a lightning rod within the more conservative elements of the property's fan base. Okay, you know, I'm not a conservative at all, but even I don't like this guy.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Marvel's removal of Wendig comes a month after the publisher canceled the 6-issue miniseries The Vision 2 months ahead of launch with the creative team, which included another best-selling novelist, Chelsea Kane. You really gonna keep calling her best-selling novelist Chelsea Kane? Really? Come on. Only getting a few days' notice and little explanation as to why. Because she had 2 years to work on it and she didn't do shit. That's why. Beyond a change in publishing plans surrounding the characters being used in the series. Notably, Kane is vocal about her politics and equally visible as a target for right-wing trolls on social media as Wendig, although that was not given as a reason for the series' surprise cancellation. Marvel Entertainment declined to comment. Okay, here we go. Like I said, I am not a conservative. I'm a Bernie Sanders voter. I make no bones about that. But even I think that this guy went too far.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
So much of the problem is like he goes out of his way to kind of lump everybody who has anything to say about anything in this whole, you're this, gay bashing Republican, Trump supporting, and it's like, it's just not true. It is just so not true with so many of us. And I keep politics off my channel for sure, but man, it just pisses me off that you have these people who are just so abrasive and so hateful and hurtful towards paying customers. And
it's like they almost know that you're not, because why else would you say it unless it's some kind of insult?
Yeah.
Because if you're Trump supporter and somebody calls you that, they're like, yeah, and it's like it'd be like, like you're a white guy and and that. And you're River. That's a little different. No,
River 727. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I can tell you that's bullshit. The LGBT character Sinjir is one of the best characters of his Aftermath trilogy. Wendig can go screw himself. God, but I mean, okay, but this
that's the words of one of your fans right there, readers. Anyway, I don't know. I wouldn't call him fan, but
that's one of his audience. But this is part of a larger problem with Marvel, is that they think that they can choose their audience and that no matter what they do, they're in the right. I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what? You want to weave messages into your comics. Okay, fine. I understand that. But you got to pick your spots. Yes, right. The X-Men was a metaphor for racism in the 60s, and for all kinds of other stuff. You find metaphors for and
then Bryan Singer hijacked it for a homosexual metaphor. So
yes,
yeah, it worked.
No, it still works. Anybody who really feels alienated or outcast, really,
pretty much.
Yeah, and it's not a mistake that the Mexmen, the Mexmen.
That's a different kind of X-Men. Yeah. They come from down south.
Hey, Holmes, we're part of the new superhero team, the Mexmen.
And now I want Mexican food. Thank you.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna do good.
Our power is we can form a mariachi band and make you tacos. Wow. There you go. No, I'm just being uber racist now.
It's no mistake. But it's no mistake though. It's not an accident that all the X-Men are teenagers, because that is the awkward years where you feel most alienated and you to feel out of place, and everybody goes to Xavier School to find a place. Hello, I'm Charles Xavier. And they find a place where they're safe and they can fit in with everybody, with all the other freaks.
But what you're getting at, and what I'm getting at too, is that they act like they're trying to act like they did something brand new and exciting for whatever franchise or whatever it is they're working in. And it's like, no, it's already been there, already done that. And like some people brought up, what difference does it make who you voted for? What difference does it make, what sex what sexual preference a character has, unless it's important to the story or the role or what have you? No. It shouldn't fucking matter. And especially when it comes to entertainment, who gives a shit who you voted for when it comes to what show you're watching, unless it's obviously a news network or a pundit or something to that point? It doesn't really matter now, does it?
There's a way to weave messages into your stories. And as we always pointed to it, Gene Roddenberry was the best at it. Actually, Gary from Nerdrotic is in the chat. He's read Aftermath. Can we add him really quick? Gary, can you join us for a few minutes?
He can join us as soon as he gets home. He was at the gym.
Oh, okay, all right, no problem.
He's got the Google link, so as soon as he can join us, he will. He said he was going to be in the chat, but
okay,
I'm sure he'll try to get on if he can, if we're still going when he gets home.
But anyway, like I said, Gene Roddenberry was a master at weaving messages, but he knew exactly which buttons to push. I mean,
I don't feel so bad now. People are having fun with X-Men.
Hey,
I'm like, oh god, that was horrible, and now everybody's having fun. I'm like, okay, so it wasn't that bad. I suppose Mexicans almost got to be like the Irish, because anymore we get to the point where we don't give a shit. Everybody's made fun of us for years. So,
hey man, we got that guy, the Wolverine man. He go Vato style on your ass. But anyway, like I said, Wendig is fire. But like I said, Gene Roddenberry. One of my favorite episodes, Vato Man. One of my favorite episodes, A Private Little War. And I imagine at the time, you know what? Yeah. He goes, oh, that's not so unusual. Yeah, I saw on Star Trek the other night, the two sides, they talk about mutual. Oh, and when it makes you go, oh, that's when you know you've got a good message. Maverick Hunter X-Zero, El Ciclopto. Okay. We gotta do maybe this. Maybe we do this for the next round of the Trek logs.
Instead of yellow spandex, though, there's some off color because they're like a bootleg version of it.
Yes.
These are like the bad toys that you
all
see.
the Mexican toys that come out. Yeah, there was some bad bootleg version where the colors are all wrong, and you got a Superman and a Spider-Man box. And
but this gives me an idea for the next Trek log, though. The animation, the Mex-Men.
Oh, good God! What are you getting me into?
Like John would be like Professor X. Hey.
Welcome to my home, man.
Yeah, man, you got a really nice pad here, man.
You think so, man? Yeah, I designed it myself, man.
Oh man, yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, check it out, man. We got the big jet in the garage, man. We gonna deck it out, get some flame decals on it. We gonna put some hydraulics on it. Oh man,
yeah. Let's not do that. Let's not. I like the black.
Check it out, man. Check out that Jean Grey, man. Oh my man, she going out with El Ciclopto. Oh man.
No.
So it would be like a. So it'd be Juan sunglasses then.
Professor Carlos Xavier, Professor Carlos Javier.
Okay, guys, we gotta calm down. We're gonna get in trouble.
I guess going back to what we were talking about, though, we go to like these entertainment things and movies and books to get away from politics because we want to escape from it, because it's so horrible in our daily lives all the time, and this is part of why people get so pissed off about it. And there's no doubt that Chuck Wendig had a bunch of assholes, coming at him and attacking him on Twitter. Yeah. We all do, and everybody on Twitter gets that. That is Twitter for you.
Oh, which X-Men would Danny Trejo be?
The ultimate X-Men. Well, he could be Wolverine, probably. Actually, hey, Holmes.
But like
I'm gonna cut you up, chink.
but this is what happens. But the Chuck Wendig is what happens when you're raised with no sense of how to rise above things. And he could let all this roll off his back, but no. Pardon me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was like a sonic boom.
Danny Trejo would be the best X-Men. Yes, he would. I don't think anybody fucked with him. That's for sure.
Well, like I said, he has no idea how to deal with criticism, and none of these Marvel writers do, because you see the way they attack all the fans. It's terrible. I mean, and I hate saying this, but like I said, I'm not conservative, but I'm not conservative at all. I'm more center left leaning, but at the same time, even I got to say, guys, give it a rest. Dear God.
Yeah, this is kind of going back to my analogy of like you go into McDonald's and you're upset because your burger is not what you ordered, and they throw it at you and tell you suck, and then demand you pay for it again. It's like, seriously, we would never do business with people like this anywhere but the entertainment industry, and this is why people call for boycotts all the time.
Margaret.
Margarinito
and
Margarinito. Jimmy Smits is Magneto.
Antonio Banderas play him.
This is going
We're
off
going
the rails.
to fucking hell.
Hey, Holmes.
Oh shit!
Who would play Deadpool? Latino sci-fi geek La Phoenix Negra.
Oh shit!
Like Maria Conchita Alonso as Jean Grey.
Is her power to scold you really good?
Or Gina Gonzalez from Jane.
All right, who would Eric Estrada play then?
Eric Estrada would be.
Yeah, he could be another good Magneto. One of the two.
Fluffy as Deadpool. Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah. Yes. Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh
shit! I'm the Deadpool. I'm fluffy. And that's slim like Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, all right. Who would Michelle Rodriguez be? Michelle Rodriguez would be that's a good
She'd
question.
probably be Jean or Storm, or
she'd be Psylocke, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. We've gone way off the rails with this.
Yeah, we have.
We haven't even been talking about what we're supposed to.
I tried.
Chuck Wendig, fuck you. That's all I'm going to say. I have no investment in the guy. I really could tell you what. I'm not an EU guy. I'm not into reading all the books. I love comics. I love comic book art, but I don't have the time, money, or the ability to keep up with the shit. I hate doing homework, as Rob and I always say. So chances are, if it's in a book, a comic book, or something to that effect, it doesn't affect us, or we have no idea about it because we don't care.
Cheech and Chong is the Maximoff twins.
And guess what, buddy? I don't care about Chuck Wendig. And honestly, after hearing some of the shit he said, he can go. It's like, I don't care.
Do you remember?
I mean,
did you ever see that movie One-on-One with Robbie Benson, or you can go fuck yourself with a red hot poker. shove it all the way up with red hot poker.
I mean, anybody who's just going to make blanketed statements like that deserves to lose their job, especially if there's somebody in his position.
Exactly.
Look at even in, and I'm not trying to stand up and defend James Gunn, but at least James Gunn, there was nobody he was directing any of that shit at. He was just making random comments based on whatever. And, you know, if you go into the context, it's either responding to something somebody sent him or somebody had said before that, or a joke, or to somebody famous already. So it was never anything like he was directly going after people. Yeah, he did later on. But that's not why he got fired. This guy got fired, and I can see why, because he's just flat out calling people rapists and all kinds of other shit. That's just nuts.
Stone Cold 10X Antonio Banderas says it's Gambit. That's actually pretty good. I like that casting.
That's not bad. If he was a little younger, maybe. I don't know. That's not bad, though.
John Leguizamo as Blob. He did kind of play Blob. He played the clown in Spawn. Remember?
That's true. The best part of that.
No, Wolverine fangirl. No, we're not drunk. We're just
Sarah.
But one. No. Her name's Sarah.
That's Sarah.
Sarah Marino. Oh, hey, Sarah. I didn't know that. No, we're not drunk. It's just when we find something funny, we go. When we find something funny, we go off on it.
Sloppy bastard.
So anyway,
this is Skunk on Tuesday, and it's Friday, so I'm worse.
Chuck Wendig joined the ranks of the unemployed. So
there you go. Edward James Olmos as Magneto. That works.
Yeah, that does work. Yeah.
We're so gonna get in trouble for this.
No.
I think Rob's high on caffeine.
Yeah,
half a dozen coffees.
Oh yeah,
he's like the great Cornholio.
Are you threatening me?
Are you threatening me? I am the great Cornholio.
You will feel the laughter of my almighty bunghole.
Bunghole.
Yeah. He was, oh yeah, cool. Come on with your pants down. Come on. So,
I think it was the newer one where he's like, he gets to the point where he's down. He's like, I'm getting tired of this butthead. Can we go home? It just like quits. Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
All right. What else do we got?
Well, are we done with Chuck Wendig yet?
We're up to good riddance.
Well, I'm the only one who actually gives a shit or saw the Glass trailer that matters. And I got to say, I am looking forward to that. I was a big fan of Unbreakable. Split surprised me on 2 different levels, and I'm looking forward to Glass. If you haven't checked out the trailer yet, that's my glowing recommendation to do so. Yeah, because you guys don't have much to say about it. So, but you'd probably like it, Rob. It's very comic book oriented. So
yeah. I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of people talk about Unbreakable and they like it, but and nothing against it. I just haven't seen it. It's just not one of those things I've seen.
You'd like it. I'm not sure how much you'd like Split because it's very horror oriented until they get near the end, but then Glass is going to be the culmination of the two. So he finally finishes the trilogy he talked about doing way back when. So, and we talked a little bit about this on the horror podcast. You can check that out with Susan Layton. Random and I did the other day, and and she we pointed out some good things about it and how it's just it's cool to see how Shyamalan's went from being somebody who seemed to be so into himself and believing his own hype to the point where he finally come back around to being a good filmmaker again and not worrying about being the Shyamalan hammer man, however you want to say it. Hey, Mary Ashby.
Hey, Mary Ashby, Wrench Wedge, how you doing?
She finally got their chance to join us there.
Yeah, but I did see the Aladdin trailer last night.
Yeah, I watched that crap.
Which makes me ask the question: Why?
Money. They want to make
money. You want to know why? Because Beauty and the Beast made $1 billion fucking dollars. That's why.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cheaper just to re-release Aladdin and just kind of restore it?
Yes, it will.
Yeah,
it would be.
It's what's fucked up? They were restoring them all with 3D up until they got to Aladdin. They quit at Aladdin, and of all those movies they did, like Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid, the one that would probably look the coolest in 3D, they didn't do Aladdin because you got the carpet ride, you got all the other cool genie shit. It would have looked hellaciously awesome in 3D, and they never did it. I would have much rather just seen the original Aladdin cartoon in 3D in theaters instead of this garbage. I don't need Will Smith as the fucking genie coming out and getting genie with it. Na. I don't need that shit. Never had a friend like me, Jazzy Jeff, kick it in. Never had a friend. It's every Will Smith song. I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. I have every one of his fucking albums up until he turned into fucking poppy schlock. You know,
it's genie time. Won't you come on, sit back and unwind?
Yeah, I have everything up through Getting Jiggy with It album. That's where I quit. And I was like, okay, I'm done. You know, but. Well, it's unnecessary. It's fucking unnecessary. And what's worse is they make everything look like the cartoon. So all it does is remind you of the cartoon. You're like, yeah, I'd rather just watch a cartoon.
Yeah, I've seen this before. That's
how I felt through the Beauty and the Beast thing. I'm like, this looks like garbage. The Beast looks like shit. What's her face can't fucking sing. It's the same goddamn thing all over again. I was never that big a fan of the fucking cartoon to begin with. I'd rather just go back.
But don't you know Beauty and the Beast has LGBT representation in it?
You have something
against LGBT?
The candle was always, or not the candle, but the whatever it was always gay. The clock or whatever. I don't know. Whatever one
the clock was played by David Ogden Stiers.
Which one? Yeah, I think that's the one that always came off as kind of gay. Either way,
actually wasn't he really gay though? I think so.
David Ogden Stiers? I don't know. He really was in real life or not. I don't think so.
Let me tell you, he was a great.
If he was, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who gives a shit?
He
was a great actor.
He was.
Oh God, you know Winchester.
Did he just pass?
Yeah, he passed.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Winchester was one of those characters on MASH. He was such a terrible, but then he had those moments of humanity, but it was just underlying that David Ogden Stiers could just play that range within one character, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same difference as Beauty and the Beast was for mothers who grew up to show it to their daughters as out of that song. Then just show them the original.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Patrick Olinger says, Robin Tom, what's your favorite Disney animated movie? That's a tough question. I know Random's not the biggest Disney fan.
I usually go Robin Hood because it was the first movie I ever saw in theaters.
Believe it or not, pound for pound, it's got to be probably either. Well, I generally go to Pinocchio first.
The nose.
And then probably a very, very, very close second is The Little Mermaid. And that's because the Ashman and what's his face? Menken music.
Oh, hey, there's a picture. I have a picture of me standing underneath the Little Mermaid statue in Denmark. Can we?
But I mean, that movie has the best music in any Disney movie.
If I can find it, and I'll do a screen share just really quick. And keep going while I stretch while I find it.
But yeah, those are probably my two top favorites. Random, I'm not a huge fan. Which one's probably
the only Disney thing I like is Rocket Man because of Harlan Williams, and maybe Mary Poppins, the original. But
those aren't the animated films. No. Yeah, I mean, as far as their live action films, mine would be Mary Poppins.
I just got to make sure I don't share any of my porn on the screen.
There you go. Tranny porn. God damn it,
Rob. Close out your porn before we go live.
Here we go.
I was just going to show my phone for a minute. Flight of the Navigator, that's a good one. You got to import it though on Blu-ray.
Okay, let's see if I can screen share that. Okay, application.
Well, in other countries, it's actually released by other companies, I believe. It's not a Disney movie, I don't think, or at least considered.
I think what was pissing off about Disney was like it's so deceptive. It kind of makes little girls have this false hope of, oh yes, you're gonna have a happy ending. You're gonna fall in love in a minute. And
okay, well, all right, I got the picture.
Alice in Wonderland's another good one that was brought up. That's one of my.
I got the picture up in the viewer, but I can't. I got to find a way to actually share it.
There, next to your left, there's a little green screen. Now, sorry about this, folks. You click on that. And then to the right there, it'll ask if you want to.
This is application window.
Yeah, click on that.
Okay,
share, and then share to everyone or whatever.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry, guys. Okay, which do you want to share? You want to share all of them?
It's the Jesus Christ. Okay, well, it's down here somewhere. Okay,
Denmark.
All right, that's enough of that. We've seen enough of Rob's
pictures of you. Oh, okay. It's
okay. Stop sharing.
Okay.
Well, click on the one picture and then just do a screen share, and then it'll pop up in your media thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
we should teach Rob this shit off the air.
Screw it. Okay, I stopped.
That or link it in the chat like random send, then she can share it.
Well, hang on. Can I upload it in the chat? No.
No worries, Jeffrey. Thanks
screw it. Well, screw it. I'll do it another time.
We'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
But no, I mean, we've talked about this Aladdin thing longer, and I have interest in it. And that's the thing is, you start talking about the old movies because it's just, who cares?
We've already got one. Do we really need a live action version now?
The only one I'm kind of looking forward to is Favreau's Lion King, and that's one of my lesser favorites of the Disney movies anyway. And that's just because I'm wondering what he'll bring to the table, because his Jungle Book was the only one of these live action ones I've seen so far that was actually worthwhile. I didn't even like Maleficent. I thought that one was dumb because it makes no sense. It's like, how does this make any sense or match up with Sleeping Beauty? It doesn't. It just doesn't.
I can like Maleficent.
I mean, at least with Wicked, that one makes more sense, especially if you've seen like. I think that Oz movie that Disney did was very, very influenced by Wicked in a sense. That one makes a little bit more sense to where you can see the different side of it.
Yeah.
They're not Maleficent. It's like she's too much of a bitch in that movie. Sorry.
They have one rule though when you take a picture of the Little Mermaid statues, just don't climb on the statue. So that's what they would say. Because imagine, like, I hate to have like be arrested for humping it, like on the Orville.
Well, like Koosh brings up, you want to go live action Disney? Tron, that's a good one. The original Pete's Dragon's another one of my favorites.
Mary Poppins, of course.
Mary Poppins, of course, is my number one. I always liked the Herbie movies. They're all right. Gosh, even in the 80s, Disney had some good ones. What was that? Sorry.
Like the old Shaggy Dog. Pretty much anything from the 60s, I don't mind this live action from Disney.
Yeah, there's a lot of great live action movies in the 60s.
The Computer wore tennis shoes or something like that.
In the 70s. And even in the 80s, because like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was really
I forgot that was Disney.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Even though it's under the Touchstone banner, it's a Disney movie. Gosh, what else do they have? Yeah, you can even get into the Mighty Ducks and shit like that. And then the Pauly Shore days and all that kind of crap was kind of good.
Mighty Ducks was their market research for getting an NHL expansion team. They want to see how
pretty much.
No, really,
the first one's not bad. The second one's not even that bad. The third one just kind of like, okay, we're doing this again for reals, and then to the point where Emilio Estevez isn't even hardly in it.
Well, they wanted to show off the new uniforms. That's
really
what
Tim Allen's Santa Claus movie was okay too. I didn't care for the rest of them, but
yeah, the Mighty Ducks is really the Bad News Bears. That's all it really is.
I know.
Really.
You had how many of those though?
I know. Okay, well, what else we got?
That was really the big shit. So whatever the so many of them, we can't leave them.
Yeah.
Too many now. So.
Well, we could rag on Chuck Wendig again for the new people
and let you guys know you like the show, because then that tells you.
Well, okay. Well, let's poke. But while we're poking around for more, another story's bound to drop in our lap.
Well, there was that Star Wars story, random. Which one was that with the?
Episode 9
report.
Yeah, it's in the chat there.
Yeah, go ahead and click on that if one of y'all want to do that. My voice is still shot. So. Well, yeah, film fantastic. They had a lot of great adult films once they started doing Touchstone, and ended up getting in. Even whatever you feel with the Weinsteins, they still do a lot of cool shit with Dimension and some good things with Miramax. Not a lot of great things, but you had your moments. Black Hole, that was another good one. That's one of Andre's favorites.
Well, so many of these movies one of my favorites too. Like a lot of the Disney live action don't really feel like Disney though. For me, like the Disney stuff that I'm that have such an aversion to are like the animated princess sort of thing. That's kind of what I always think of because I detest the false advertising.
Well, one of the funniest stories about the Disney 80s, one of the 80s stories I always hear was Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis took Back to the Future to every single studio in Hollywood, and every single studio told them the same damn thing: take it to Disney. It's too wholesome for us. It's a great story, but it's just it's too much of a family movie. Take it to Disney. They all said that. So they go to Disney. What does Disney tell them? We can't do this movie. You have incest in here, for fuck's sake. So they're like, well, what the fuck? But now that script is used to to a point. It is.
Yeah.
But that's what everybody said. It's too wholesome. Take it to Disney. Take it to Disney. And Disney's like, we can't fucking do this. Are you crazy?
Did you ever see Fry? Did you ever see Futurama when Fry goes back and meets his grandfather?
Yeah.
Yes. And then he bangs his grandmother. He's just screaming, ah, ah! I'm like, snap out of it, Fry. So you're your own grandfather. It's just
I'm my own grandpa.
Okay, we got this covered. Episode 9 report teases a father-son reunion for the Skywalkers. Oh boy! Yeah. With the exception of ruined roundhead Ryan motherfucker Johnson versus The Last Jedi, the family has been an ongoing theme in the Star Wars episodes, and according to a new leak, Star Wars Episode 9 could be continuing this tradition with an afterlife reunion. So what's gonna happen? Someone's gonna say, "Oh, guess who's dead, motherfuckers!"
You're gonna see after Hayden Christensen and Mark Hamill together. Yippee!
After Luke Skywalker passed away, his last movie, like a bitch, J.J. Abrams' upcoming sequel will see Mark Hamill reprising the role at least one more time, and understandably, many are assuming the character will be taking Force Ghost form. But if this report from Express is anything, expressuk.co.uk, anything to go by, he may not be the only Skywalker to take this ethereal form, as the late Jedi will supposedly share a scene with his father, Anakin. And Hayden Christensen Anakin? Well, Sebastian Shaw's got to be long. He's got to pass away by now. Apparently, Luke's ghost will be witnessed standing in a cave with many floating white orbs when he encounters the former villain of the original trilogy. It's also said that this version of Anakin will be a fusion of Hayden and Sebastian Shaw, allowing for a take that will be familiar both to prequel fans and to original trilogy fans. Booyah. Honestly, that last part in particular sounds pretty silly, with its suggestion that not only are there a substantial number of fans familiar with the prequels, but not the originals, but that the best way of throwing them a bone is through a weird synthesis of the two actors. Aside from that, however, there's little here that you can't imagine making it into next year's release, even if this is nothing more than an unfounded rumor. Of course, this report is just the latest of several leaks which allege scenes for either Force Ghost Luke or his old man Vader. But we'll finally find out how Abrams really intends to bring Saga's latest trilogy to a close. And Star Wars Episode 9, nobody cares. Oh, for God's sake! Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares.
Really. But this sounds like that idea they had early on when they were going to have Hayden play a Force Ghost, and the Force Ghost was going to phase between Anakin and Vader because of the imbalance in the Force brought on by Kylo Ben, which at that time it sounded like an okay idea. But like you said, I've gotten to the point I just don't care. Too little, too late. I could give a fuck. I tried watching Solo last night. You know how far I got? I got to the part where the fucking robot comes in. I'm like, no, I can't do this no more. She drives me nuts. I'm done.
Why would you try and watch that again? You already
just
watched
to give it another shot, but it's fucking just hazy and gray, and you can't see nothing. And it was like, okay, I'm kind of getting into this a little bit more than I did the first time until that fucking robot after her bit. And I'm like, no, I can't do this no more.
Kush says if they're going to fuse the two likenesses, why not just use a different actor? Because then they'd actually have to pay somebody.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling they're going to do the phasing thing, but they're going to fuck up, and instead of just actually having Vader like within the costume kind of thing, like they were going to originally, phase between Hayden and the costume version of Vader, they're going to have phase between Hayden and an older version of Hayden, which would be a mix between Sebastian Shaw and Hayden. It'll just be computer bullshit.
And I'm Hayden Christensen. I think you're thinking of Family Guy.
Yeah, what?
That's what this has gotten to be like. It's Star Wars is getting to be almost like a Family Guy parody.
Exactly. Welcome to the Family Guy parody of Star Wars, where nobody cares anymore.
It's bad fucking fan fucking fic is what it is anymore. I'm sorry, TLJ, Solo, whether you like Solo or not, they both feel like really bad fan fiction to me.
That's because Rian Johnson stole somebody's fan fiction.
The Force Awakens was okay now. I liked it great, just fine when it first came out, but over time I've gotten to the point where I have no fucking feelings for them whatsoever. And just full disclosure, I don't really care for the prequels either. There's bits and pieces of them I like.
Yeah. They don't age well. I just don't
give a shit other than the original trilogy anymore. I really don't care.
And The Last Jedi is going to age terribly too.
It already has. And The Force Awakens ages worse because of The Last Jedi. It's just ridiculous. Like they don't realize how bad they've been screwing it. And it's been slowly going downhill for 20 years now. It seems like almost 20 years with the prequels and even the special editions. It's been going slowly downhill. And I don't understand where all the new Star Wars fans are coming from when that's kind of what they're growing up with. They're the prequels and the special editions. And I don't get it.
Maybe that's that base of them that is actually accepting of this garbage.
Maybe
that's why. It's because they were raised on the fucking prequels. And no offense to anyone
no
the chats or anything like that. It's just I'm trying to figure this shit out because let's get real. I mean, there's just very few people that I've actually heard that I respect actually like or defend The Last Jedi. And even then, they still have to admit certain flaws in the mix. And a big problem with this is that Ryan was allowed to chuck out the plan, no matter whose plan it was and what the plan was. It still couldn't have been as bad as what happened. It may have been boring. It may have been simple. It may have been something we're used to. But that was kind of the point. I get that.
I still can't believe that he can go. He could have went into Kathleen Kennedy's office and they said, "Okay, listen, JJ laid out this outline for the next movie and we want you to take a look at it. Because we're gonna.
You want to know how this went down?"
And and then he says,
"No, I'm gonna write my own. Yeah, I can do whatever I want. Yeah."
That's close, but you want to really know how all this went down?
How did it go down?
Okay, basically, let's flash back to JJ. And I'm not going to stick up too much for JJ, but just hear me out here. I'm sure Kathy was like, we got to have a lot more stronger female characters. JJ's I will give you strong female characters, don't worry. But I'm going to also have some strong male characters in here too, or the major fan base is not going to be on board with this. Okay, flash forward to the end of that. Rian Johnson comes on board. Rian Johnson comes in, kisses Kathleen Kennedy's ass. I'm all about feminism. I want to make this all about the female characters in the story.
You're so great, Kathy. Kathy, you're so great. I love the work
you're
doing.
For me to do that, I'm going to have to chuck out JJ's treatment.
Yep.
To JJ, we're going to have to chuck out this treatment. What do you think? If that's what you think, go ahead and do it. But I don't feel like that's the right idea. So they chuck it out anyway. JJ plays ball out in the public. We know how he is when it comes to press. But we know darn well, probably behind the scenes, he was fuming.
Yeah.
But then that's probably one of the only reasons he took on episode 9. Think about it for a moment. But why else would he at this point?
But there's that.
Do it again.
There's that thing. There's that. I don't know what they were doing, but
he said he did, but I knew he did.
But there's a thing where round-headed bastard is on stage with Kathleen Kennedy, and she's saying he knows how to write strong female characters.
Yeah,
and he's just sitting there.
Oh, thank you, Miss Kennedy.
I get my own trilogy now.
I get my trilogy.
You know,
and this guy come in.
Can we do it at a condom this time, Kathy?
over top of, just because it may have been formalic, it may have turned out to be a lot like the original trilogy, so be it, but we would have gotten past that and gotten all these cool anthology movies. No, instead we've got this mess upon a mess upon a mess, and it's starting to look like Kathleen Kennedy is listening to the wrong fucking people and or pushing her agenda too much into this crap, and we've said that already. But at this point, this 3 years going on, it doesn't fucking matter. Episode 9 is going to be a fucking disaster. It's going to be the lowest grossing saga movie ever. Mark my words. Unless somehow JJ pulls it out of his ass.
Well, they're doing all these things like bringing back Vader, and bringing back Luke, and they're doing it for clickbait.
Oh, yeah. It's basically the clickbait edition of Star Wars. It's going to be whatever JJ can throw at you to remind you. I guarantee you the first trailer that comes out, you're going to get such the feels for classic Star Wars that you're going to be like, oh, maybe JJ fucking did it.
Member berries.
Okay, okay, I'm going to confess, at the time I really liked The Force Awakens. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I probably still could watch it, but Last Jedi's ruined that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was as Doomcock says, maybe it was hypnosis. I don't know. Well, but it could have been. But the Last Jedi just completely just dismantled and it's hard for me to describe. I understand. Tainted everything to the point where I just can't even look at it anymore.
Well, yeah, because
it's
as like, bad as anybody may see The Force Awakens and think it's a retread of the first film, you at least want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to explain to you why Rey is this person, why she knows what she knows, what happened between Luke and and why he took off. But no, what we get back is somebody's fan fucking fic version of what should have been disregarded right off the bat. Sorry, Rob.
That's okay. Kush says they deconstructed the heroic archetype. Yeah, and that was part of the problem. I mean, like I said, we have somebody who's perfect, who has absolutely no flaws. Remember that in The Force Awakens? How did you learn to do that? I don't know.
I was expecting answers, and we didn't get any.
Who's my parents? They're nobody. Who's Snoke? Doesn't matter. He's dead.
Yep.
And the only reason that those things are the way they are, and we've said this before, and I know it's going to be tiring to some of our normal listeners, but everything that Ryan did was so he could say, fuck you, your fan theory is bullshit. And that's the only way he could trump everybody. By making her a nobody, by making Snoke a nobody, by making Luke the complete opposite of what you expect out of Luke. That's the only way he could fuck up everybody's fan theory. And then I add in the bonus round of bringing Leia back to life after the logical death.
Yeah.
As Mahler says, and I keep going back to him, he says it's not so much that our fan theories were wrong. I mean, you could have had Rey's father be Golard Bunt, who was the big guy in Maz Kanata's bar and talking to Finn. If that was interesting, okay, fine. Let's see where that goes.
But let's face it doesn't matter. She's going to be a Skywalker or a Solo, regardless,
or a Kenobi. Or
that's stretching it to fuck.
Well, but anyway, the whole thing, that's the only way he could fix things. But it's the fact that, and as people always said, as Mahler says, it's not that my personal theory wasn't presented on screen, is that you took my investment in a story that you were telling and you laughed at me for having it.
Yep.
You don't get to take my investment in these characters. You don't get to take these characters which I'm invested in and that you've been entrusted to and telling, put them in a blender and take the contents of it and smear it on my face and say, ha. Well, that's what you get for being invested in the story. Right. You don't get to do that.
Ryan is a prime example of why you don't just let any old fan take on something like this.
Yep.
And that's what we've said from the start. It's a prime example of why you just you don't do it. And that's why many of us have all said that, we don't think we're qualified to even write Star Wars movies, let alone take on the whole Lucasfilm, kingdom. But still, regardless, at this point, when you could turn around and say, oh yeah, I've heard fan fiction or read fan fiction or I've had people tell me their ideas and shit like that, and that sounds better than what we got. It makes more sense than what we got. You know, you can't toss all logic out the window and break every fucking rule, or you're gonna break the whole fucking thing. I mean, go back to one that Random and I always like to bring up, and that's Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Mm-hmm. Whether you like that movie or not, New Line Cinema learned a very valuable lesson with that movie. You cannot break your own rules. You build rules for a reason. Those rules need to be there for a reason so that shit makes sense. Otherwise, you're going to wind up with a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And we're with
Star Trek. Star Trek Discovery. We transport wherever. Who cares? Why have a transporter pad if you can just site to site transport all the time? And
yeah. And like I said, but we're noticing a pattern here with everybody, whether it's Roundhead Ryan Johnson, whether it's Chuck Wendig, whether it's Dan Slott, whether it's Nick Spencer, those are Marvel writers, whether it's Alex Klutzman, whether it's the Gilmore Girls writers. We're noticing a pattern that all of these people break the established rules of said universes that they are telling stories in.
Right.
And when there's pushback, hey, you can't do that. What are you talking about? This is a fictional universe. You could do whatever you want. No, you can't.
Even George Lucas knew that. As bad as the prequels are, at least, even with the Midi-chlorian bullshit, it's still at least fit within the fucking rules.
Yep.
And I thought that was funny as shit, and everybody laughed when Harrison Ford said that's not how the Force works. Rian Johnson didn't listen to that, because I'll tell you right now, we've had so many debates on what could or couldn't happen in this fucking movie based on what we know about the Force. Ryan can pull out every goddamn book he wants out of his ass. Doesn't matter. In the 8th movie of a fucking series, you don't start creating fucking fake rules that didn't exist before.
Well, don't you know I had the Jedi handbook? The Jedi handbook says I can do it. Yeah, it does.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know only I have this book and only I read it, but I can do it. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, you've never shown Leia use any kind of Force powers whatsoever to this point.
Oh, and faster than light ramming ships, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not only that, just usually when an explosion like that happens, it's done. It's over with. I don't give a fuck who you are.
That again, that's not like, and like same differences actually said the faster than light ramming ships. Yeah. You know, if that were the case, because I always understood the way that they explained hyperspace was that it tears a fabric in sort of space-time and you travel through like a tunnel. That's sort of
like a pocket.
Like a pocket universe. That's not our universe, but you like it's hyperspace. You know, that's sort of like hyperspace. It's almost another dimension. It's like I said, you're stretching reality to go through a wormhole from one part of the universe to another very quickly. If faster than light, if traveling through hyperspace is just traveling really fast, then why can't you just build a torpedo made of depleted uranium or some other dense material, rig a hyperdrive generator to it, and then just ram it into Death Stars or whatever? I mean, again, that breaks the rules of the universe.
Well, not only that, and then, you know, Mage Grey Wolf brought up, I would have been fine with Luke's force projecting if he had actually been on the planet. Here's the thing. Up to this point, you've only shown that force projection works person to person, Jedi to Jedi. And it seems only to generally work to very strong Jedis to like Padawans or father to son, what have you, family members. Okay. There's been no incidences where I could remember real offhand where anybody other than within those connections got any kind of phone call vicariously from the Force.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're introducing not only where you can get just random like messages through, you know, you can actually get whole conversations with a visual aid to boot to not only Jedi who are untrained, but you've got Luke, who was never even really fucking trained to begin with, who's supposedly been sitting on this island for God knows how many 10, 15 years. Okay, maybe he had time to learn this shit in that time, but why? He shut himself off from the Force. As far as I could tell, he's put that part of his life away. And he wants nothing to do with it. I don't see where he's had the time or the teachings to be able to learn any of this shit when nobody else had the ability to learn this shit. When Yoda brings up the ability to talk to Qui-Gon in episode 3, he makes it sound like it's a brand new thing they just discovered, which I thought was fucking stupid. It should have always just been a thing. If you were a fucking Jedi, if you go into the Force, whatever, blah, 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 if you're a Jedi, you should be able to communicate with another Jedi as long as they're a part of the Force. That rule makes fucking sense to me, right? Right. Okay. Yeah. Why all of a sudden that was even one of the dumb things in the prequels. It's like, why all of a sudden introduce this shit when it shouldn't have fucking mattered? You could have had Qui-Gon talking to him this whole time. We've heard Qui-Gon's voice in the background to Anakin a few times. You know, there's got to be some connection there sooner or later. And he was supposed to explore that even more. And all he did was throw it away at the end of episode 3 because he spent way too much time on that fucking fight. That was what it was.
I think
the fight that should have lasted 5 minutes lasted 45. Yeah. Well, originally that was what he said when he set out with the prequels. Was the first movie he was going to explain the Force a little more. That was what the midi-chlorians were about. The second movie was supposed to get more into the dark side, and then the third movie was supposed to be more about how you can communicate with other members of the Force and blah 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 blah, and balance and all that kind of shit. And none of that came to be because he didn't even really know what the fuck he was doing. And I want to find it. There's an interview out there with George Lucas where he says this, and it's almost word for word. I only had like 5-10 minutes of story in the first movie, 5 minutes in the second movie. So by the time I got to the third movie and I realized I had 3 hours of story to tell, I only had 2 hours to do it. It was a bit of a dilemma. So what does he do? He wastes 45 minutes on a fight. That's all I'm gonna say.
I told you how you can communicate through the Force. You have a Skype call. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like FaceTime, but with the Force. Yeah. That's the way I did it. Yeah.
And this is why the prequels always bore me so much, because there was like just nothing going on in them that I care about.
Oh, Joe K, I haven't even got into some of the worst things in the prequels, and I ain't talking Jar Jar.
No, Jar Jar is
the will to live was one of the biggest fuck yous to the fans ever. When Padme lost the will to live.
Who dies in childbirth just from being depressed and sad? That's
bullshit.
Happen.
Either yes, she either died because of the childbirth or the trauma involved, or fucking do it right and have Anakin do it and make it fucking tragic and make sense. I think he pussied out at the last minute, to be honest with you.
There is not for okay. In defense of George, like I should defend him. There is a condition where you can actually, you literally die of this.
Yes, and that's true.
It takes a long time, though.
Well, not only that, but it's generally affiliated with the elderly and such because they already have such, you know, their hearts aren't as strong anyway. So yes, the pure shock and agony of such a loss can bring that on. But I'm sorry, but a mother who's having children at that very fucking moment is going to lose the will to live right after she names them. If she didn't have the will to name them, maybe I'd see that. If she'd be like, no, I don't even want to see the children, then I could understand. You know what I mean? They didn't give you any inclination that this woman didn't want to live. You know what I'm saying? And I think what it was the trauma between what Anakin had done to her and the childbirth put together caused her to have a heart attack and she died. But Lucas fucking wussed out at the end and said, no, I can't have Anakin kill her because then everybody would hate him.
Yeah, well, that's the fucking point. He's Darth Vader.
That's the whole point. He's a tragic character. He died saving the one, or he killed the one he was trying to save. That's the whole point I was getting to, is that would make fucking sense. You set up this whole thing for the last 2 movies that he's got to save Padme. Okay, that's his biggest fear, is Padme's going to die. So what do? You have your character set up to where he chokes her so much that she pretty much dies right there. Only living long enough to give childbirth and gives out. You know, like you live in a society to where they can get the children out before they die too, you know, or something like that, to where it's there. It was like, good God, George, it's not that fucking difficult.
Dr. Meatball, she died of plot necessity.
It makes that's exactly it. There was no reason she should have named those fucking kids. There was no fucking reason. As far as I was concerned, Leia's parents named her Leia. Her adopted parents. And as far as I was concerned, either Uncle Owen or Obi-Wan Kenobi named Luke. I did not give a why in the fuck would they even do that? It makes no sense. Just so they could have this moment where it made sense to George Lucas that he said, oh, I remember my mother. Because in reality, if Leia should remember her real mother, the way she says it in Return of the Jedi and the way we think she means it, Padme should have lived for a few more years and, like everybody thought, committed suicide when all the shit hit the fan with Vader.
I think he just went way too dark, and he pussied out, like you said, because
he already had the boy and not the girl, because they weren't at that time worried about Leia. They were worried about raising Luke and making him the next Jedi to come back and kill Vader. That was their whole plan.
But the one thing I really did like about the prequels was that they had the budget for good lighting.
Yeah, they're at least lit, unlike
well, yeah, but that's because it's all done on the computer. You can almost consider those animated films. 90% of them are, especially when you get to the fucking last one. But
she died of a broken heart. It's got me thinking though of the first scene
in a fucking country song.
It's got me thinking of the first scene in A Hard Day's Night with Paul's grandfather. Hey, what's he doing here? He's nursing a broken heart. Hey, poor old thing. Hey, mister, you nursing a broken heart. He just gives it a dirty look. He's a nice old man, isn't he? He's very clean.
Gosh. I mean, at least with Leia's story, you could figure she thought she meant her mother that was, her mother that died on.
But you really don't want to subvert expectations. He force chokes her and he snaps her neck, though. I mean, that would really subvert his, oh shit, what the? I'm like, and unknowingly, or she dies,
and then he goes, the trauma afterwards. I mean, and kill her per se,
and just the grief of she died of death stick addiction.
You want to buy death sticks? Oh Jesus. Santa Dominos, yes, in the original storylines, Luke and Leia's mother did live past childbirth, yes, but they hid Luke. That's why Luke was hidden away when he was a baby instead of being raised by his mother like Leia was for a little while, and then she was adopted by the Organas and so on and so forth. And that made sense because then she was able to get herself into the dignitaries and the senators and all that kind of shit, and she was a princess and she had high, it all completely makes sense if you look at it from that angle. If you want to hide your assassin somewhere so Vader can't get him, so you can raise him when he's old enough to kill Vader, basically. And then you got your other kid, she's hidden in the Senate doing her thing with the rebels, and in the background, with the power when it comes to dignitary shit and all that kind of crap and diplomacy.
I never thought of that.
It makes complete fucking sense if you look at it. It's like they basically made these kids sleeper agents, and you're fucking that all up. Yoda and Obi-Wan's conversation was simple. It should have been this: our only hope are these children. You're right. What do we do? Well, then you got what's his face, Jiminy Smith standing there. Well, I can take the one kid. Well, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, she can get raised, have the best of everything, and blah 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 blah. Well, what do we do with the boy? Hide his ass. And when he gets older, we'll teach him how to kill his dad.
That makes. But you have like you said, one's working in front in the as a sleeper agent to sort of to wrest control politically from the Emperor, and the other is ready to kill the henchmen. I mean, it made
complete fucking sense to me.
I never thought of that before. Wow. See, my eyes, his eyes, they can see.
More of an edge too, because they're like, obviously, we're fucked here. We're done. What are we gonna do? Well, I'm going to Dagobah. Yeah. Because I know ain't nobody gonna go fuck with me there. And then and of course, Obi-Wan's like, well, kid's got somewhat family on Tatooine. I guess I'll go hang out there.
But the one thing though I figured out about Dagobah, it was that actually Dagobah is actually another there's another reason probably why it's not just remote, but it's also a power center.
Yeah, well, with the dark side, especially.
No, because he says
who's going to look for Yoda there.
He says about the Force, life creates it, makes it grow. And what better place to be in touch with the Force than in a swamp planet where everything is alive?
Well, and chances are that's probably where he came from to begin with. I mean, and it was probably that simple in Lucas's mind to begin with too. It's far outreach, and that look at it this way: both of them are in a place that the Empire is not really that heavy duty. Yes, on Tatooine to a point, but you can tell on Tatooine that the Empire's influence has just kind of started to infiltrate that area to where the Hutts have had control for a while. And that's the whole reason is the Hutts keep the Empire out. They have their little deal where they don't fuck with them. You don't fuck with me. Notice that they're only there because they're looking for the droids.
It's actually never named where Yoda was born.
No, but I would imagine it would be a place like Dagobah. Makes fucking sense.
He's small. He's green.
He looks very Earth-like and creature-like to the point where is he going to come from? Some swampy little place? That,
he looks like a frog. Might as well come from a swamp.
It's not easy being
green. I met him in a swamp down a Dagobah where he bubbles all the time like a giant carbonated soda. S-O-D-A soda.
That's one of the few songs. I know some people have issues with like American Pie and stuff like that, where I'm playing that song, and if I'm trying to sing the Kinks, is that who did it originally?
Yeah, Lola, yeah.
The Kinks version. Yeah. I'll end up fucking up and going into Yoda.
Well, that's me with all of the Weird Al songs.
Oh, Darth Vader's really got you annoyed, but remember if you kill him,
you'll be unemployed. Oh my Yoda.
Oh shit. Horse babies. They'll make your dreams come true. Yes.
There's so many little tweaks you can make. Like if Vader did end up killing, or if Anakin did end up killing Padme, there's no reason that they couldn't have done that because he killed all those little kids. Like
I know. Well, that's
why
it's
would
really
you
stupid.
on that?
Friends really got in a mess.
Really
so I'm gonna have to leave. I guess. But I know I'll be coming back someday. I'll be playing this part till my dying, till I'm old and gray.
Long term, it's true. See, it's true.
Like that, the sign says I'll
Even
be
Weird Al knew.
Movie till the end of time with my Yoda.
Even Weird Al knew then.
Yes.
Oh shit. Well, the younglings thing, that was the one time I was like, okay, Lucas is really going to show us here. That was when I finally like, okay, he's getting into the gritty nitty, and then the ending just kind of was real like downer. And not in the sense that it was supposed to be. It was a sense that, okay, you didn't go full out. You should have.
So I used the Force. I lifted some rocks when I stood on my head. I picked up a box.
Oh, I stood on my head. I won't forget what Yoda said. Said Luke, stay away from the
darker side. If you start to go astray, let the Force be your guide. Oh, my Yoda.
Yoda. You're supposed to sing. I was trying to harmonize with you there.
Oh, sorry. Well, but anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't know. I don't know what's left. It always turns into a Star Wars bitch fest,
doesn't it?
Well, there's so much to complain about, though.
Well, it was like, after the prequels were done, I could put away. It was a childhood thing. The Empire Strikes Back could still remain my favorite movie of all time. Star Wars could still be a part of my life, but it wasn't something I had to, worry about another prequel coming or another movie coming or anything. They had the Clone Wars cartoon. I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever.
All right, it's over. It's done with.
Yeah, it's over. It's done with.
We could all kind of move on.
Yeah. And then this Disney thing happened, and I'm like, okay. And I'd seen how they've been doing with Marvel, so I'm interested. You got me, And then The Force Awakens, I saw it, just like a lot of other people, whether you liked it or hated it. I did notice that it was very similar to the first Star Wars film, but I knew that was going to be that way for a reason. They were trying to take us back because a lot of people forget that after the prequels came out, even though they made money, there was nobody really that interested in any more Star Wars anything.
No.
Not really.
Well, even in the middle of the prequels, I kind of got lost interest.
Well, not just you, but if you look at the merchandising compared to the way it went with episode 1, there was Jar Jar everywhere. There was episode 1 everything. T-shirts, posters, you name it, besides the toys. When it came to episode 2, I couldn't find a T-shirt. I couldn't find shit. Same thing when it came to episode 3, unless it was just the very few things that they randomly had out there with Vader all over everything because he was in the movie for 15 minutes, so they used him to sell everything.
And a lot of people don't remember, episode 2 was actually outgrossed by Spider-Man that summer.
Oh, yeah. Episode 2 was a big letdown. I mean, it was finally it got to that point where when episode 2 came out, I'd finally gotten to the point where I realized, episode 1 wasn't as great as I was hoping it was, but Darth Maul was cool. We got a few cool setups. This doesn't matter. This is what we want to see anyway. We're finally going to get to see Anakin as an adult and start to see him turn to the dark side, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. All we got to see was feelings and fucking
feelings.
Well, in front of fireplaces. What would you call it, Gary? That would be called feelings in front of fireplaces and rivers. And
Joker's sitting on his right. Star Wars is an abusive relationship. Yeah. And we think it's going to get better, and we get smacked for it.
And the reason I brought up that whole thing that George Lucas said about the story, because that's how I feel about episode 3, is there's a great movie in there, but there's also 2 or 3 bad movies in there because he crammed so much shit into one movie. It's like, dude, a lot of this should have been episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, episode 1 was so unnecessary that a lot of episode 1 should have been what actually was worth the shit in episode 2.
It's like you know what? Looking back now, I'm kind of thinking to myself. I said one of the things we really never. I mean, we saw ground battles,
right?
But we never saw like a large scale like ground battle, like we did in Attack of the Clones. And I thought it was going to be like more like World War II. That's what they were trying to, but it's just a bunch of guys standing in a field just shooting at each other.
It is one of the shortest, stupidest fucking battles in a Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah,
it looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, I was thinking like they'd be out there, bring up the right flank. All right, you know what I mean. Like you go back and watch,
brings up the point. Too many lightsabers. You get to the point where you could give a fuck. Lightsabers used to be cool because not everybody had one.
Yeah, when one of them came out, actually, you said, "Cool, cool, something big's about to go down."
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you got everybody with one. It's like, who gives a fuck? You could have thousands of people fighting with lightsabers. Woo!
Yeah, Gary's in the chat. He says,
"Looks like a big rave."
Huge. Oh, Nerdrotic, actually, Gary said in the chat, he says Rogue One shot a huge ground battle, but market research said they wanted space battles, not ground battles. Yeah.
Well, they have speaking of ground battles still in Rogue One.
Yeah.
The
beach scene and
the what I want to talk. I remember I wanted to talk about Archer. I don't think anybody else here is a fan of Archer.
That's all right.
But anyways, Archer is going to go into space next season. Is anybody in? If anybody in the chat is a fan of Archer, just type yes or no. Just so I can get a sense of who it's for. So because marketing research can suck it. Archer in space, yes. Okay. Okay, cool. We got some Archer fans. Archer got old. Well, they're reinventing it though while he's in a coma.
Well, Vincent asked a good question to finish up the Star Wars thing. If we think episode 9 will be the good one, like how Revenge of the Sith was. No, unfortunately, I think the good one is either going to be considered Rogue One or Force Awakens at this point. I mean, if you're talking about just the saga, the trilogy or whatever, it'll be the Force Awakens. And if you mean whatever Disney movie, Rogue One will be the one that everybody goes, yeah, that's the only one that didn't suck in some way. A lot of people start holding up Solo later on, but to me, it's just a lot of false pandering.
Well, anyways, this is
you got a few fans though, so go ahead, Rob.
Well, this is a story I wanted to talk about because I'm a big fan of Archer. Actually, this is actually from FXNetworks.com. New Archer 1999 details revealed. The cast and executive producer of the FXX animated comedy revealed season 10 scoop, including the return of a fan favorite character. Cool. Are you ready to hitch a rocket ship and straight to the space danger zone? Danger zone. Archer 1999 is preparing to blast off. Phrasing. The cast and executive producer of the FXX animated comedy series hit New York Comic-Con to spill all the details on the upcoming 10th season of Archer. Obviously, fans didn't get all the scoop on Archer, pardon me, and the team's trip to the stars, but they got enough details to sufficiently whet their appetite. Read on below to find out more to return to fan favorite. Okay, catchphrase. The favorite catchphrase. You want to know about Pam's character, including detail you wish you could forget. Phrasing makes a big return. The iconic line that's been part of the show's lexicon from the beginning makes its triumphant return in Archer 1999 with a twist. The season we've been saying space phrasing. This season space phrasing. Matt Thompson revealed to an excited audience, we have been putting space in front of a lot of words just to be stupid. I think Jessica Walter says in the background of one scene, space called it. Lana and Archer will yell at each other a lot. Actually, here comes my ride. Can you hear that?
Hurry.
Yes. Lana and Archer yell at each other. Aisha Tyler, giggity, said that she's been having so much fun yelling at H. John Benjamin during this season. Damn it. During this season. After all, Archer and Lana are divorced in Archer 1999, but still trying to co-pilot the MV Seamus amicably. Mallory will physically be different, but remain the same inside. Though Archer's mom is actually a sphere in the upcoming season, that's the only thing different about Mallory. She's just Mallory. She's Mallory inside the ball, and she's Mallory outside. She's got balls, Jessica Walter said. Pam will be a very interesting creature. Pam Poovey isn't human this time around, but a hulking rock monster that Aisha Tyler so eloquently described as if Thing had a really bad case of eczema. Sounds awesome, right? But wait, there's more. We find out that the creature that Pam is, when they're aroused in a sexual manner, they get a boner that apparently you can smell if you're in the room with them. Amber Nash told fans.
You need to wash it so you don't smell it from like across the room.
It's very
very bad, Rand.
It's very unnerving. I haven't been able to sleep since. Everyone's like, "Oh, shit. Pam, can we smell your boner?"
Oh God.
Who wants to bet we'll hear the phrase "space boner" at some point in season 10? Barry is back. Sweet. The New York Comic Con audience erupted in cheers when Thompson said that Archer's nemesis would be back and he'll still be a full-on robot. Does that sound good, Barry? It sure does, other Barry. And so is Brett. Rejoice. The bullet magnet returns in Archer 1999. How or why? We'll find out next year. Will they get shot again? We're betting yes. It's a nice day for an Archer wedding. When asked about how they like to wrap up the series, whenever that may be, one cast member pitched an Archer wedding, but not between Lana and Archer. Amber Nash is hoping for a big 80s wedding between Pam and Archer, with Pam carrying her new husband off into the sunset. If there is even the slightest possibility of that happening, we'd like to RSVP for that ridiculous union immediately. Okay, so Archer, probably next spring, but Archer still going. Cyborg Barry back. Looks really good. They teased it at the end of this last, and at the end of Archer Danger Island. And if you're out there, you don't watch Archer, start, man. Really start. It's really good. But one thing they said, actually, Adam Reed and Mark Thompson said that when they do end the series, the ISIS team is probably going to come back for one last save the world mission. So they said they wanted to do 10 seasons, but I'm not sure if this is going to be the end, really. So, but wait and see. I mean, like I said, Archer's really funny. It's good. It's good stuff. If you need a new series to watch, I mean, there you go. So anyways, that's a story I want to do because I love Archer. So we did it. Yeah. Who shot the Return of the Jedi battle between Luke and Vader? I don't know. There you go. Phrasing.
Somebody probably said something in the chats.
Okay. Barry. Yeah, the Barry. C-Lab was fun to watch. C-Lab as Archer is actually a direct spinoff of C-Lab. Actually, the guy with the white hair was actually an Archer.
Captain Murphy? Like C-Lab 2021 or the original?
Captain Murphy. Captain Murphy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know because the actor died in real life who played Captain Murphy.
Yeah.
And that's when kind of C-Lab went downhill for me.
Yeah. Archer's quality has waned over the years, but still better than most of the rest of the crap that's on. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's Ryan McGlinchley. Yeah. What's up, Ryan? C-Lab is amazing for its time. Yeah, C-Lab. They did a plot where C-Lab, I mean, and Cheryl's brother was funding C-Lab, and they went broke, and yeah, Captain Murphy is greater Lieutenant Dan. What's funny is Cheryl likes to be choked while she's having sex. So, and there's always this thing about somebody choking her while they're doing it. And they actually did it on a blimp. She was trying to blackmail Cyril. You got to start watching this, Random. You probably like it.
Well, because I liked C-Lab 2021 back in the day, but I liked it because it was ridiculous and crazy.
That's what Archer is. It's ridiculous and crazy.
All right. I have the pinball table, so I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a shot. I like John Benjamin quite a bit. He's one of the better voice actors. He is, yeah. Yeah, there's Cheryl was saying to Cyril, he goes, either I tell
Lana what you've been doing, or you get inside me. And she rips her clothes off. And he goes, well, or I could jam this broom into the engine and kill us all. He goes, that's not how blimps work, Cyril. Oh, yeah, we'll just kind of float around. That's right. Stupid helium. So, yeah, you'd like I said, you'd like it.
Yeah, maybe.
So, you're not my space supervisor. That's right. You're not my supervisor. So, okay. I don't know what, yeah. Okay. that's the story I wanted to do. And we're all done with that story. So back to bitch about Star Wars.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Well, what do we got in the chat? What do these guys want to ask us real quick before we close her out?
It was also Zorak, Brack. Not Brack. No, Zorak was my favorite on Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh yeah, and pretty much anything on Coast to Coast. I always came from like the Cartoon Planet era. I loved Cartoon Planet, so I was a huge Brack fan.
Mary Highland, you shot a black astronaut. That's like shooting a unicorn. It's North Korea. It's the nation state equivalent. It's the short bus equivalent. It's a nation state equivalent of the short bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll do a Zorak impression. No. that's my Zorak impression. Jack Klugman. I don't know. There was a hidden Cheryl game on a hidden Krieger. Oh yeah, that's right. They do this thing where they have a website Easter eggs, and you have to go on this like web scavenger hunt every year, and there's all kinds of like bonuses and stuff like that. And they give you clues throughout each episode as to what it is, and I mean, it's really detailed. They're really difficult to pick up, too. And but it's so detailed. Actually, yeah, you can find them on the evidence on the web, all that stuff. What do we think of the new Ninja Turtle series? First episode sucked.
Say we got a review of the first episode on the main channel.
We don't know who it's for. We really don't. We don't know who the series is for.
That's kind of how the new She-Ra looks. Like, who the hell is it for?
Yeah,
it's for Noelle Stevenson. That's who it's for. It's her own.
She didn't even watch the show.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Don't you know I can do whatever I want? It's a fictional character. I can do whatever I want with it.
Santo Dominus, thank you for the $15 Canadian super chat. When I was young, Star Wars was so much fun, but now Star Wars is gone. It's no more fun. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
And that's kind of how we are nowadays. We're at the point where Toys R Us is gone, Star Wars is gone, Star Trek is gone. You know, pretty much everything from the 80s is just, and anything from our childhood is pretty much just getting taken away from us bit by bit. And I know we're not supposed to be kids forever, but damn it. We bit the I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. Like we bit that marketing.
Yeah, but I don't ever remember anybody bitching saying, you know, that Christopher Reeves Superman, that was a bunch of horse shit. That ain't my Superman. George Reeves forever.
Yeah.
Now that guy knew how to do Superman.
No.
They at least, you know, it was like you used to be able to do this shit respectable, like, and people get on board, you know.
Yeah, Patrick
with Michael Keaton Batman, you know, shit.
Patrick Ollinger says, do you think there'll ever be another Superman animated series? I suppose at some point, but I'm afraid of what form it's going to take.
Is he going to mope around and cut himself with kryptonite?
You're not my dad. You're not my dad. What are we supposed to do? Let those kids drown? Sure, fuck them. That's
not my kids.
Can I bitch about that for a minute? About that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So Superman, I'm like, the biggest problem, great power, great responsibility. Remember when Jonathan Kent in the Christopher Reeve, you are here for a reason. You just don't know what that reason is yet. Yeah. And he was just trying to say, you know, as he goes, I know, yeah, you want to show off, but you know, you have to understand you are here for a reason, not just scoring touchdowns. And you know, and he goes, you know, he had to figure out, I have to help people. I have to take all my ability. I have to help people. And the whole reason why he saves people is because he couldn't save his father. He goes, well, I couldn't save my father, but I could save other people.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the lesson you learn. So they're supposed to learn from that.
And Kevin Costner and Kevin Costner, fuck those kids on the bus. Clark, let them drown. You gotta look out for number one. So
What am I supposed to do, Dad? I don't know. What do I look like, your dad? I don't know. Am I supposed to have some answers for you or some shit? I don't know.
You're from another planet there, Clark. We can't reveal that you're from another planet. But I took this metal from your spaceship that's from another planet to a lab, to the university, and they told me nothing is there's nothing like it on Earth. So I revealed that you're from another planet, but I want you to not reveal that you're from another planet. But even though I revealed you're from another planet, nobody will know that you're from another planet. You follow? No, Dad. No, I don't. Oh,
Tim Augustine, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Let us free the robot. Let us be free of Star Trek and Star Wars pain. Random sing Mr. Roboto.
Maybe we get copyright strikes though.
We got to sing and swing. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. We got a copyright strike like that.
Well, that's the way you do it.
You just got to change it to release Harvey. Oh, did everybody see Doomcock's latest video about Spec?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. I actually had to comment. I went into defense of the actor because I've read a little bit up on him. Yeah. But, and I didn't want to mean any disrespect to Doomcock. I know he didn't mean any attacks personally on the actor. It's just the fucking writing and the makeup and the directing. And yeah, so people in the comments were like, oh, no, she went against you. And like, no. He didn't say anything bad about the actor either. It's just one of those things. Like I feel so bad for him because he actually seems to know the character a little bit more than Michael Burnham for the most part.
Smock.
Yeah.
Spork. Smock. Spec.
McCuck.
The Spock's the two. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I don't hold. You can't hold. It's not his fault. He's just doing a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little swig of water. And it's like I said, it's a paycheck to him.
Well, and he seemed to actually care a little bit more than just a paycheck. Then, like, Sonequa Martin Green really seems like it's just a paycheck to her. Oh yeah, I watched Star Trek growing up. It was on in the background here and there. My family watched it. No, Ethan Peck actually went out and he watched the series and he did his research. He went to the Nimoys and said, "How do I play this?" And he really actually seemed to care, which really pisses me off even more that they're going to really, really probably destroy this poor kid's acting career because of this horrible, shitty writing.
Yeah. For as much shit as we give JJ and Alex Klutzman and the whole gang behind the new Star Trek movies, I got to say that Zachary Quinto actually did a pretty good job as Spock. I guess, like I said, he was actually convincing as a young Spock because yeah, well, to a large extent.
As far as all of them go, I would say he was the one doing the most impression, other than actually in the rest of that cast is great. I like him. Okay.
Yeah.
But he was like the least of the cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spock the Lesser. We're gonna call him. I guess I don't know. Spock the Lesser. There's the Diet Spock. What can we call him?
He's probably Diet Spock.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know. I guess we were calling him Diet Spock, but he's even less Diet Spock. I don't know. He'd be like, I don't know. Everybody has like these. What's a good one that almost every region has, like Jolly Good or Faygo Cola?
RC Cola.
Well, even RC is a little bit more.
Yeah, I actually like RC.
Around here, at least, it's owned by the 7-Up company. So,
well, hey, when I was still drinking soda, I used to love RC.
Right, it's at least brand name. I'm talking about like the IGA off.
Yeah.
Like Wildwood or ShopRite or Surefine or around here. Like I said, I know Faygo's a big one, and Jolly Good or whatever used to be a big one for a chain throughout the Midwest here.
There used to be a soda called Like Cola.
Spock Zero.
Spock Zero.
There you go, Stephanie Smith.
That's a good one.
Oh shit.
Spoik. That's good.
Man.
Spock Zero. Spock Zero.
Did you guys talk about Carl Urban being? We talked about the live action adaptation of The Boys a while ago, but we haven't got to see it yet. So I think there's a trailer out there or whatever. I know Gary knows a lot about it because he actually knows people who made it. So
from hero to hobo.
IGA hasn't been a supermarket for some time. We still got quite a Dr. Meatball. There's a lot of IGAs around here. So, but even still, yes, I'm old.
Yeah, IGA. There's
Jolly Good probably hasn't been around. Fago, am I an ICP fan? I used to be before they got really weird and dumb. But no, the other reason why Fago is so big around here is because we live right near Michigan, so it's all over around here, and they got to deal with some of the local gas stations and shit.
There used to be
nasty.
Back when I was a kid, used to be Cott soda, it was regional kind of thing.
Oh Jesus,
Cott soda, COTT. If you're drinking soda, it's Cott to be good.
It's Cott.
Well, then there's the Walmart off-brands like Mountain Lightning or something, Dr. Thunder.
Well, they all had those kind of strange names because they couldn't. They had to be something close to what they were mimicking.
Dr. Thunder. Okay, this is a serious question. What is Dr. Pepper? I can't place that taste.
It's like a cherry.
I always thought it was basically like cherry Pepsi, but then they have cherry Dr. Pepper, so my mind gets blown there.
I like cherry Dr. Pepper. I don't know. It's like a root beer with cherry almost, sort of chemicals.
Oh, I always thought it was a cola.
Because
whenever I worked at any fast food restaurants, whenever anybody would want Dr. Pepper, they would tell us to just recommend cherry whatever cola we had. Because it was the same thing they would say.
It's really not.
And then somebody argued with me one time. I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't mind Dr. Pepper, but I mean, I don't drink it that often to really. Yeah,
it's kind of my second favorite behind. Like, I'm a Diet Mountain Dew person, and then Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper.
I drink Sun Drops, so
Tyon Ranger says he said he's heard it's carbonated prune juice. I wouldn't doubt it.
It could be. So when you're like cooking it down to take it as a medicine, you're just basically making it back into prune juice because you're like boiling out the fizz and whatever.
Yeah. Mary Ashby likes
plums, vanilla, cinnamon, according to Kush.
Yeah. Mary Ashby says she likes Diet Dr. Pepper out of all diet sodas. I don't drink soda anymore because I went to the doctor. So they said my blood sugar level is high, so I just cut out soda.
I'm supposed to quit, but I love my soda too much.
I have a glass. I have a glass every so often, but like I go like weeks, sometimes months now without having soda, which is probably good.
Mr. Pibb. I don't know if they were regional, but I think
Mr. Pibb's like a knockoff. Mr. Pibb's like the Mellow Yellow to Mountain Dew. Yeah, so Mellow Yellow, Mountain Dew, Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper, or Pepsi.
So I always associate mixing drinks for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, Kush says seltzer, lemon, half teaspoon. Actually, I'd like to get a Soda Stream. That way I can make seltzer water.
I've been seeing those, and like they're supposed to be like, I don't know, it's like they're supposed to be so much healthier. It's like soda is soda.
Yeah,
I guess unless you don't use the sugar aspect.
Well, you can carbonate water though to make seltzer.
No, that's not supposed to be good for you though.
The carbonation?
Yeah.
Use gas. It's just CO2.
Okay, so then is it the sodium then in the soda that's not good for you? I suppose
it's the sugar. It's the sugar. There are like I've heard there's like 18 teaspoons of sugar per can of
Coca-Cola. Not only that, but like every coach and every gym teacher and everybody health teacher always said the same thing to me is soda and carbonated drinks will dehydrate you. They don't hydrate you.
Well, yeah, because
so I was trying to figure that out.
My Diet Mountain Dew here, it says there's 70 milligrams of sodium.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Did it have to do with sodium then? Mm-hmm. See, because in soda, I think a lot of the carbonation comes out of the sodium, doesn't it? To where if it's not the sodium-based carbonation for you, is that the whole deal? Sorry, we're having a really stupid conversation live on the air. This is like one of those conversations we have after the fact.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
It's casual Fridays.
Yeah, casual Friday. Oh, and actually, Monday, not that we don't want to look too far ahead to Monday, Final Space starts again on TBS on Monday.
See, Kush says here standard seltzer usually has some sodium. So, okay, that kind of answers that. Okay. The sodium is for flavor. But I thought the sodium is also added for the bubbles. So that's where I was confused.
JSM Outdoors, yes, prune juice is a warrior's drink. Yes, it is. It's a warrior's drink. It's a warrior's drink.
Prune juice in the morning and at night. I'm as regular as can be.
I get a bowl of oatmeal for that.
Even if I get a bone stuck in there, it comes right out. Because I don't like stop. I just eat the. I don't have time.
Don't have time.
I'm a liar. I'm busy.
Oh, brother. So anyway, sodium will cut out the bitterness of artificial sweeteners. Okay. Well, the thing, everything's crammed full of high fructose corn syrup, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of the sodas have switched back over to sugar, but I can't imagine that's much better. You know, I mean, it's better than the high fructose corn syrup, but how much better? Not really much, probably.
Well, the only reason you take a look though, at the ingredients of so much stuff. There's high fructose corn syrup in everything,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
because we're paying for those corn subsidies. That's why.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's in soda. It's in bread of all things. High fructose corn syrup.
But actually, looking at it now, I'm a little disappointed because Sundrop was for a while using regular sugar. Now they went back to corn syrup.
And supposedly, what happens when you ingest high fructose corn syrup, because it's an unnatural substance, your body says, "What the hell is this? I don't know what this is. So let me store it as fat for later." That's supposedly what happens. And like I said, it's in it, but it's in everything. It's in ketchup. It's in
because isn't it basically the sugar already broke down?
Yeah. Which is healthier to drink, beer or soda?
Beer, probably.
Depends on the beer.
Depends how stressed are you.
Well, I think a lot of beers have moved over to corn syrup too, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely, and weird chemicals and all kinds of crap. Yeah,
a lot of beers use corn for their mash to make. Like I know Stella Artois uses corn. I think Anheuser-Busch, I think they use rice to make Budweiser out of. Very few actually use barley or hops or whatever it is anymore. Let me see. Beers. Okay, now beers that use corn.
These are really the kind of conversations we have after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but these use corn. Ready? Okay. Budweiser contains genetically modified rice. Corona Extra, GMO corn syrup. Propylene glycol. Miller Lite, GMO corn and corn syrup. Michelob Ultra, genetically modified sweetener. Coors Light, GMO corn syrup. Pabst Blue Ribbon, GMO corn and GMO corn syrup. That's why I drink Carlsberg when I can. I know you're not a drinker, Tom, but I mean,
no, not really.
Yeah. Hops, nope. And hops and barley in your favorite beer? Nope. It's high fructose corn syrup.
There you go. I just said that.
Let me see. What I think European beers still use barley and hops.
Probably.
Let me see. Yeah, they
yeah, well.
Let me see. But
can we get back on what we're supposed to?
Drink
beer is liquid bread. Yeah, pretty much.
Drink Potan uses potatoes. U.S. government puts tariffs on Mexican sugar and subsidizes corn production to corporate welfare. Yeah. Yingling, I don't like.
Well, and just look at how much crap out there is corn based now compared to when we were kids.
Yeah, because all the corn subsidies. Yeah.
Oh God!
I mean, like I said,
and it's not really that good for you because corn is like one of the least nutritious fucking vegetables there is. And by the time they process it to the point, it's lost all its fucking nutritional value, probably. You know, it's like, sorry, we're talking really, really weird shit, guys. We still got 112 people listening to this weird crap.
Yeah.
It's beer talk. It's beer talk with Rob and Tom and Random.
You know what is I'm drunk? No, I'm not drunk.
Actually,
we're gonna drag out the guitars and shit. No. It's 8 o'clock though already.
Yeah. Anybody in the chat fan of Grolsch Lager with the flip top? With the pop top? Grolsch Lager, bottle filtered and forced carbonate premium lager pilsner since 1615. Ingredients: water, malted barley, hops, the company's best-selling lager. So Grolsch is still using the real deal. Let me see. Carlsberg is what is Carlsberg? Carlsberg does not list full ingredients. contains only, the firm says its lager contains only water, yeast, malted barley, and hops. And I've toured the brewery. Rob, do you do comedy shows outside the New York area? No, I do not yet. Grolsch Lager is the devil. I'm like, most American beers suck anyway. Yeah, actually, one of the better American beers is Anchor Steam and Anchor California Lager. So,
See, I've never been a big beer fan. I always like the harder stuff because beer just has such a weird flavor to me.
Well, yeah. Well, it's Harp Lager is good. I mean, like I said, it's the mass. So genre movie question. Rob Midnight says, are you going to buy Marvel's Conan in January? Send it to Andre's payback for him making you watch STD. We should. We should.
Oh, that's so mean to him.
But American beer used to be stronger. It used to be more like what European beer used to be. And then when the Second World War came, the government said, we need the grain to make fuel for the war effort. So they cut back on the alcohol content. They cut back the amount of grain they used. And then after the war, the beer companies saw everybody liked the beer. They didn't notice the difference. So the beer companies, the brewers said, okay, well, we might as well just keep it like this. And that's why American beer is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but like I said, the European beer, I hate sounding unpatriotic, but the European beers are so much better. It's oh wow, London Pride.
Music beer, you can't help it.
Yeah, London Pride beer. It's got malts. The malts are chocolate and crystal pale. Hops: Challenger, Goldings, North Down, and Target hops. So that's what's in. Oh man, yeah. Thanks, Hitler. Beers up for Hitler. Oh, jeez. Remember that Chrysler commercial though with Bob Dylan?
No.
He says he was talking about let Asia make your phone, let Switzerland make your watch, let Germany brew your beer. We will make your car. I'll take you beer drinking next time you're in town, New York City, to prove you wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying that there's no good American beers, but like the Budweiser, don't get me wrong. My brother used to be Miller salesman. So I'm a little biased. There are some Miller Genuine Draft is actually pretty good. Yes, I'm on a British super chat so I can buy London Pride beer. But I like the beer with a little stronger edge to it though. The Carlsberg Elephant Premium is good, but you can get hammered on it. That's like 8% alcohol by volume. That's pretty big. There's no big brand American beer. There's a renaissance in craft beer at the moment. I still call it microbrew.
Yeah. That's pretty much what everybody drinks anyway.
Yeah, Harp and I love Harp. I haven't had Tenets yet though. Yeah. Haven't had Tenets yet. Like I said, I love London. So. Yeah, I love London Pride. I love. I tried Fuller's ESB. Wasn't too crazy about that. I like Newcastle. I like. I want to try Kingfisher, which is actually from India. Sintaro. I think I've had that, which is a Japanese beer. The Grolsch Lager is from the Netherlands. That's actually pretty good. Peroni is the same thing as Stella Artois. I don't know. Have you heard? I don't know if you've heard of Peroni. It's Italian beer.
I don't know, but I almost got to imagine over there, where especially like Norway, where Andre's from, he's got to be like, "You guys don't know how to drink."
No, probably not.
We literally take water and cram barley and hops in there and drink it straight, just with pure alcohol. Just You wusses. I can imagine. He could drink us both under the table easily, but I drink 2-3 drinks and I'm down. So
yeah. I'd love to try Watney's Red Barrel.
I'm not saying that Andre's an alcoholic in any way, shape, or form either, guys. I'm just saying.
No. But
over there, they start drinking when they're young enough to where they learn how to handle it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Stella's wife beater in the UK. Yeah. Mary Ashby.
That is some big Viking dude. Yes. Maverick Hunter 060.
You can't buy liquor at a regular store here. You know, Captain April, you know why American beer is like having sex and because it's fucking close to water. That's why. Carlsberg, yes. Carlsberg. Yeah, actually, Peter Parker in Spider-Man, he jumps on top of a Carlsberg truck, which is actually pretty cool. Oh my God, good to see that product placement paid off so well. Tuborg, the king of Danish beers. Yeah, oh God, I had Tuborg the first time I saw Tuborg first time in ages when I went to Europe. It used to be sold here. It was actually Tuborg. It's actually sold. It's Carlsberg. Molson, yes. Moosehead. Moosehead was actually good. Moosehead beer. Moosehead was, yeah. How about Brandon? We can't wait to get some of that pot infused beer when you go back to.
Well, they have root beer that's actually really good.
Pot infused root beer.
Oh yeah,
I'll try that.
It's really good, actually.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah,
like Read by Nature said, Andre's not an alcoholic. He's just a European. Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to say.
Shifty says, who is Chuck Wendig? A guy Marvel just fired.
Are there even alcoholics anywhere but America? I swear.
No.
I'm sure a few places, but
Lewis Black said about Ireland, he says they don't have AA in Ireland because they don't see the need. It's not that you're drinking too much, you're not drinking enough. And if there is an AA meeting, it's usually at the pub. So and they don't have fights. They don't have fights. It's usually you son of a and they pass out, and that's it.
No, here's an AA meeting with it. Hey, come here, buy me a beer.
Hey, come here, let's get you another drink. Hey, come get you a drink. Rob, what's the weirdest porn you've ever seen? Do I have to answer that question?
Don't answer it.
Quicksand porn.
Quicksand porn.
We found the end of the internet. Remember?
Yes, quicksand porn.
Quicksand porn. He told me about this shit. I'm like, really? He's like, yes, quicksand porn. He explains it to me. I'm like, that's it. You found the end of the internet. There's literally, what else are you going to do after that? What is left?
Isn't that the hottest thing a woman can do is disappear?
Oh.
I just joined the Me Too movement.
I thought that's what she does, that thing with her middle finger while she's no. Never mind.
Heyo.
I was say, isn't that the old saying goes? You don't pay a prostitute for the sex, you pay him to leave afterwards.
Yeah. I'm not paying her for sex. I'm paying her to leave. That's what Charlie Sheen used to say.
That's right. Tiger blood.
Yeah, it's random. It's too bad you don't live close to here. There's a guitar show Sunday in my area.
I love guitar shows. I can't buy anything.
Oh, it's just fun to go.
Oh, I know.
Patrick Ollinger wants to know who Rob's favorite 80s porn star is.
Barbara Dare. Favorite 90s porn star was Patricia Kennedy. I mean, she wasn't a huge
I'd
star.
actually have to think about it. Rob has an answer like that.
Also, like 90s porn star. I also liked Chloe, but she's redhead.
Okay.
I liked her back in the 90s.
Patricia Kennedy was a redhead. I don't think she was a natural redhead, but she was a redhead.
I think Chloe was. She got famous by like being a groupie for Poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all groupies for those bands.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Patricia Kennedy, like she was never a big star, but she was dirty enough to get noticed. That's what I'll say about her. So Gingerlyn. Yeah, Gingerlyn is still
she's still doing stuff.
Yeah, she's doing MILF porn. She's a very attractive lady. My favorite genre of porn is
oh God, even Amber Lynn's still doing porn.
Yeah. Favorite genre porn is girl on girl. Of course, I'm a man. Of course it's gonna be girl on girl. It's porn. Hey, maybe we should have.
You don't want to see the guys.
Yeah.
Tentacle porn.
Tentacle porn.
And this was the last episode of Midnight Touch After Dark. Thank you for joining us. for the last ever episode. No, just kidding. Well, you know, if you want to get serious about it, I mean, if I'm gonna watch one, which I don't normally, because I actually used to have these.
Robot on robot.
That's robot porn. That's it. No, I actually prefer the classics because they're actual films.
Yeah,
they actually have
used to actually
stories,
be
and even as ludicrous as some of them are, at least they tried. You know, and they have some production value, and they're not just, you know, bam, getting into the sex and that's it. But anyway, we need to get past this conversation.
Usually the guy's outside cleaning the pool, then he says to the wife, "Excuse me, do you mind if I get a drink of water?"
You don't even get that anymore.
No.
I just said, "Excuse me, do you mind?" And I heard a buzz in my I heard a buzz in my nose. My sinuses are acting up. Jeez, I hate that when that happens. But anyway, I digress.
We didn't hear it, Rob, and we didn't need to know that. Just pick that booger and shut up.
Just Mary Ashman.
It's like we're not on camera.
That's right. We got
yes, be thankful
for radio, except for Random. Random just refuses to go on because she ain't wearing her makeup. So.
Mary Ashmead, yes, redheads do rock.
Problem with Tom is that he vastly overestimates the perks of pizza delivery. You know what, Tim Augustine? It's funny you mentioned that. I actually live in probably the one place in America where I cannot get pizza delivery. Cannot get it. Nowhere around here is close enough to deliver.
Hey, did somebody order a pizza? guy delivering a pizza to a.
So I can't. Yeah, well, that at least is a starting of a decent porn, you could say, because they're trying.
Well, as long
anymore,
as
they're not. There's not even trying it anymore, from what I see in any of that crap anymore. It's just sex, period, and that's it.
Well, do they even make full movies anymore? Though that's the problem. Like they're making just clips just to upload to the sites.
Basically, I don't think they do movies like they used to, and that's why these superhero porn parodies are so fucking popular. That could very well be why. They're like the closest thing you're getting to these classic porns, though, because you know it used to be okay. The 60s, it was kind of like what we're saying. It was kind of like what it was now. It was like a lot of those were just straight on these. You just show whoever it is, they start doing the deed, and then scene over, right? The 70s is when you actually started getting into the movies that were presented like fucking movies,
like Deep Throat,
like Deep Throat, and the Devil and Mr. Jones, Behind the Green Door. So it kind of changed. You had like this renaissance where they were taken seriously, not just as, you know, XXX porn, but like serious film, and they were started shown in theaters you wouldn't expect. Well, in the 80s, of course, the video age took over. And that's where a lot of these parodies started. And I loved a lot of the parodies in the 80s too, don't get me wrong. Because you had like the Star Trek Next Generation porn parody.
The Sex Trek ones or the Madam's Family was pretty funny.
You had Little Shop of Horrors.
Married with Hormones.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where that kind of started. And then all that kind of went away too. And that's kind of made a comeback, you know, with a lot of these movies that this one, I can't remember the name of the company, but they did like the Batman v Superman, and I think a Ghostbusters one and a few other ones they've done now where they actually put production value into them. And, you know, that's fine, Danny. And am I going to sit through them, though? Not likely, but I like to see that, though, at least somebody's doing something with the format without it being just pure, you know, just, I don't know how to put it without sounding crude, but just pure sex and sex only, basically, or the act, I guess.
Maverick Hunter X-Zero, mutant muff munchers from Mars.
Story porn went to Skinemax in the movie channel. Actually, I don't even know if they show it that much anymore, because I think even there was a story ran across a while back where HBO took all their late night stuff off of Amazon and a few of the other places, and I don't know if they show any of that kind of stuff really that much anymore, because they've gotten really...
Well, you don't even need to anymore with the internet. Like you can just find it in your browser on things like in ads.
There was a movie I remember during the 2008 election. Somebody made a parody movie. Who's Nailing Palin? It's supposed to be Sarah Palin. And Sarah Palin and Nina Hartley was Hillary Clinton. I was like, and it was just like, I was like, okay, all right. It came from Planet 69. Yeah. Yeah. But then they had the whole genre gonzo. Remember the whole gonzo porn genre? Yeah. Shane's World and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the Palin porn was. It was.
Didn't they have the Deep Inside series for a while?
Yeah, Larry Flint did make that. I think he did. I'll give it. You know what? Larry Flint is actually a crusader for free speech. You know, people say he's a pervert, or, whatever. But I mean, he's done a lot for things like for free speech and First Amendment stuff. I mean, he really has. I mean, so you gotta at least admire him for that.
Yes, they're telling me, oh, your camera's on. I know. Yes. You guys told me to turn on the camera. So yeah, this is why I'm not on camera, because when I do the audio stuff, I'm usually hiding behind the microphone and pop filter.
Is that the pop filter? Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can't see me anyway.
Yeah.
I can't get my pop filter to connect to this one. I got to get a new pop filter.
Oh, it's on my boom arm.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I can't. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not tech blind.
It's just if I'm not pre-recorded bot.
I can't believe all these people are still hanging out with us here.
I know. Yeah.
Here we got Mary still, Dead Schooled, Stephanie Smith, Santo Dominguez.
Did everybody quit streaming?
There
was like a ton of people on because of this.
We're literally talking about the same kind of crap we talk about after the shows and shit, guys. Like, just nonchalant, everyday bullshit. We're like stories about our families away from getting into the nonchalant stuff that we talk about after the shows. Rob will tell us about his brother, and I'll bitch about my kid or the dog, and beer porn. Why leave? That's true.
You didn't know it was intentional. No worries. They told me to.
Orgasmo. Yeah, I haven't seen that in ages.
Oh, that's
good. Man, I love Trey Parker.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone rock. Oh, I think I forgot to watch the last South Park too. I got to get caught.
Oh yeah, I got to watch.
I'm like the season behind still.
I'm caught up until just this last episode here. So
I've been trying to find the I've been trying to find the Doctor Who episode where Tom Baker turns into the Fifth Doctor. I can't seem to. If anybody else, it's Logopolis. Is that it? If anybody in the chat knows.
Oh God, I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen
it.
It's probably on.
You mean random? You don't have all those on DVD?
I'm not that big of a Doctor Who fan.
Because you like the only person I could go to and say if I probably don't have it, you do.
Yeah, I just it's so expensive. The BBC ones and
than I do though. Just from what I can see behind you, you got tons more TV shows than I do.
I usually do TV shows.
Dr. Meatball says, so Rob, are you ready for the Giants' absolute tank job? If they lose to the Niners and Colts on the road, they'll probably get the top pick. That team really sucks. Let me tell you, okay, we got to talk sports ball a little bit. I was watching the game, and 10 minutes in, I said, well, this game is over. And it was just like, oh, for God. I could not believe what I was watching. I really couldn't. And I am wearing my New York Giants hat. I said I'm going to be wearing a version of my New York Giants hat because I got so many of them. Giants hats. I'll be wearing until they win their next game. That's what I said. I'm going to be wearing a New York Giants hat until they win another game. So it's probably not going to, I'm probably going to have to wash them all afterwards. Anyone seen Cannibal the Musical? No, I haven't.
I have.
Yeah, but this
it's crazy. Oh, well, I have such a soft spot for Trey Parker and Matt Stone. It's weird. It's funny. They do some of the same jokes that they do in South Park, where Matt Stone. God, he's talking Doctor Who. I'm getting people mixed up. So where Matt Stone takes off the long Kenny hat, he's wearing basically the Kenny hat. Takes it off and he's got just the poofy hair underneath. So they do a lot of the same jokes. It's not the best, but it's not that bad either. It's very their early work, and they did it in film school. And yeah, I think you'd probably appreciate it. There's a lot of like music references or musicality references, I should say. Yeah. And I love the scenery too, because I'm like, oh, I know exactly where they filmed this and this. They filmed it like in Boulder, in places near Boulder.
Yeah, they're from. They went to Colorado. They went to Colorado State University Film School or something like that.
Yeah, CU. Well, I think Trey Parker has a music degree, but they went to CU Boulder, I believe.
Yeah, and their profession. The episode about the film festival was all about how they were where they were actually in film school, and everybody was making the black and white film movies about lesbians, and they were making cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And they were being told, "Oh no, you got to make serious. You got to make serious. Serious. We do serious filmmaking here." And the guy, the dean of the film school,
independent films are a bunch of gay cowboys sitting around eating pudding.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's gay cowboys eating pudding. And then a few years later, Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah. So the prophecy of South Park has been.
So how was it, Stan? Was it a bunch of gay cowboys eating pudding?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. See, I tell you.
Go watch Cannibal Musical right now. Oh, I will.
It was funny.
You've never seen that? On YouTube.
I need that on DVD. Yes. I like that. It's fun.
Is it even on DVD?
Yeah.
It might be.
I saw it one time at like a Sam Goody 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So yes, it has been printed on
Blu-ray.
I don't even have a
I've been
Blu-ray
doing Cartman for a while.
I've been doing Cartman because I do it to my kid all the time because my kid is Cartman.
But anyway, Dr. Meatball, but
it's a back hitting now.
The Giants go into the tank. I'm gonna have to root for the Vikings. I've always had a soft spot for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know why.
Okay, the original Troma, they do have it used for like $23. It was originally released by Troma way back when.
It is.
Remastered.
Well, that means Shout who released it? Troma?
Troma released the original. There's a 13th anniversary edition that is $11.
Who's releasing Troma now?
I don't know, but it's not
Blu-rays yet.
No, it's not on Blu-ray. It's DVD.
Bummer.
I'm not seeing it on Blu-ray. Oh, we'll link it in our chat. It's actually, for $7.
Yeah, that's true. I still got to get an Orgasmo yet. I used to have that on DVD.
I got Orgasmo for $3.
Somebody stole it.
Oh, Orgasmo's on Blu-ray. It's $9.
Cool.
No, is it $9 on Blu-ray? Hey, Julie Ashton. I forgot she was in that.
Basketball.
Yes, Julie Ashton. She's gorgeous.
I got basketball.
It's $9 on Blu-ray for Orgasmo. I paid $3 for it on DVD like 20 years ago. They had a really deep
I
sale.
recently got Team America pretty cheap on Blu-ray too. But here's a note to anybody out there: the R-rated version is the only version that is on Blu-ray, and not only that, it has like hardly any of the special features on it. So if you have the DVD, hang on to that too.
Yeah, I got the DVD. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I was going out with someone, and it was she had something that happened to her. She got in a fight with her roommate, and she said, "Oh, it's kind of late now. What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, we can go see Team America." And she goes, "That looks stupid." She actually said, "That looks stupid," and I said, Yeah, that's the point.
America.
It was stupid, and it was fun stupid.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Their music is like the best part of so many of those movies. Like DVD.
Everybody's got AIDS.
I'm such a huge fan of DVD just as their music. I found the album somewhere.
Oh, I love Team America.
Oh, man.
Suck my dick. What? Really? You said if the fate of the world rested on it, you would do it. So get Greg. I love that. I'm sorry. No apologies for it.
You can't.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
That is not the fag way.
Oh shit. We're gonna go to hell. But this reminds me of the Blu-ray talk. I was talking to some of my inside people, and I did not get a reason why. But one of the biggest plants for Blu-ray replication in America shut down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it's because tariffs for importing their to make, if that was a problem or what. But it's put a lot of things behind, and it's going to make the price of Blu-rays go up. I can guarantee it.
Oh man, there you go.
So yeah, because I think there's the only ones left in America then would be like the majors. I think Warner Brothers and Sony and maybe Disney are the only three that have their own producing glance. And if not, maybe I think even Disney actually now goes through Mexico. So if anybody else out there knows anything about that, I was trying to get reasons why, because this pushes a lot of shit behind, especially for like boutique titles. Because I know some people were complaining about Shout titles, for instance, not getting out until late. That's one of the reasons why they've had to go
pointless
to get their authoring done, or their not their authoring, but their
mastering
or whatever. Yeah, the discs done.
Now, do they just make Blu-ray movies, or do they make like PS4 games too?
It might affect that too. I have no idea. I imagine Sony actually makes all the PS4 games. It probably affect Xbox games more so, I'd imagine. Because I'm sure Sony does all their own producing.
Probably.
The only other one I know of that does. And I know for a while Sony was doing Fox and MGM's Blu-ray authoring and producing for them. So basically it's just a big hit because it's going to make the price of certain movies go up and shit, because it's going to be tougher for a lot of these places, especially with the holidays coming up.
Yeah.
It's really going to, I guess they're really bottlenecked overseas on getting all these Blu-rays out, because Mexico, I guess, is one of the biggest countries for doing it for us as far as like mass producing the Blu-rays and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it affects things this holiday season. So
yeah, I'm on Amazon right now. There's still no word on Final Space on Blu-ray,
which is sad. And then sad because I haven't heard nothing about Orville either, and I hope that gets a Blu-ray release, because I do not want to buy a DVD of it.
Yes.
It's probably something where they have to sell so many DVDs to make it worthwhile for Blu-ray.
Well, everything seems to be released now, though. But yeah, except if something there's a rights issue. Actually, they have a DVD order page. December 11th, Orville is released on DVD. No word on a Blu-ray release. No pre-order for a Blu-ray release, rather. It doesn't give you Amazon Prime Video or DVD. Knowing Fox, they'll cheap out.
Probably. Well, it's going to cost them money to print the things.
Oh, on the same page, Star Trek Discovery Season 1. Oh, that has a Blu-ray release.
Of course it does.
Of course, just to mock us. Click to play video. No, I won't.
It's like almost $50.
$41.99.
Yeah, $41 for that piece of crap.
Fuck that.
$41.99 for a Blu-ray of Mikey Sue Spock saying, I wake up, I open my eyes. Just reading her stage directions.
I know.
For God's sake.
And that's what the special features are too. That was supposed to be funny, but I guess it wasn't.
What was it? Minor Team only got an Australian DVDs. That was absolute comedy gold. I understand why it hasn't gotten an American release. What is minor? What is that?
Minor Team.
Minor Team.
Never heard of it.
Animated Minor Team. Animated television series, Cartoon Network's late night programming block ran from 2005 to 2006. Total 1 season, 19 episodes. Well, another thing, actually, Megas XLR is in. There's some rights issues with that.
Well, and just be clear. Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done.
They can't even do a second season because of it. I don't know, but did you ever hear of it, Megas XLR?
Mm-mm.
It was actually pretty good. They actually did a lot of the anime tropes and stuff like that.
Are they the same people who made X-Men?
Yes. Hey, Holmes!
Then I've heard of them.
X-Men. See, now I'm like hungry.
No, what I was gonna say was, of course, certain things, the quality you can't get any better than a DVD. So those things I'm obviously fine with buying on DVD. But I'm one of those. If it was done on film and mastered on film, and they can put a Blu-ray out of it, I'll just soon wait for a Blu-ray. But I'm a snob. What can I say?
So there's so many obscure things I'm still waiting on a DVD release for, like Pandemonium. That'll never be released.
can at least get a fairly decent DVD release of something, I'll at least accept that. No problem. But
okay, the official story is that the studio wrote off Megas XLR as a tax loss, and as such cannot be exploited, at least domestically, in any way, or the network will get into some sort of tax legal trouble.
You might be able to import it then.
So Megas XLR, at least in the US, is pretty much done, which is too bad because it was a good show. It was actually
you might be able to import it. So that means they might be able to release it overseas.
Yeah, it'll probably get a Region 2 release. Let me see.
It might be called something else though, but
Region 2 DVD.
If not, there's the ways that shall not be spoken of.
Actually, yeah, Amazon UK has Megas XLR DVDs. Yeah.
Are they Region 2 though?
Yeah. Well, UK releases be Region 2.
You're gonna have to get a region-free player, Rob.
Yeah, they're good. The region-free players are pretty good. They're not even that much more money than a regular player.
No, not often.
I think I only paid like
my next DVD Blu-ray player.
But then I don't have it anymore, so I really wish I would have still had it.
Yeah, me too, because otherwise I'd send you one of my extra copies I have of Shock Treatment. Your loss.
Give me Shock Treatment.
Well, I have my DVD player, but I think I have my
laptop. Play a Region 2 Blu-ray.
I think I have my laptop set to Region 2 from the last time.
I think
I don't know.
In a computer, yes, you can change it up to like 3 or 4 times or something like that before to lock it out.
Yeah. But I'm looking at region-free Blu-rays players right now, and they're only $65.
It's called for pretty cheap. It's like 100. Yeah.
See, I need a region-free drive, is what I need.
And the thing is most of the time,
can't you just set it to Region 0?
Well, yeah, you can set it. Well, it'll play Region 0. Region 0 is region free. Any player will play region free movies.
Mm-hmm.
But there's ways you can.
Firmware sort of thing. It's a firmware patch or block. It's a block of a firmware patch that
like mine. I have set to Region 2, I think, right now. But now, if I was to import something from one of the other regions, I'd have to actually go in and set it to another region. But it won't play Region 1 discs on it right now. So
Tekkaman Bald. The PS4 is only region free for games. It's not region free for movies.
Right.
That's the thing.
I've already tested that big time.
Yeah. And
it's in a great fucking while you will get European releases that will say they're Region B or Region 2, but they're actually region free.
Yeah.
But that's hit and miss sometimes. If you check out like the digital bits, and sometimes I think Tim will point out some that are like that once in a while over there. For instance, the House box set that Arrow did was actually region free and it wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, you'll get that once in a while. Or you have a situation like the King Kong Blu-ray. I imported the 76 version. The movie plays just fine, but unless you have a Region 2 player, it won't play the special features.
That's weird.
So, yeah, but that's because the special features are locked.
Yeah, but the other thing about the PS4, it's like it's the games are region free, but all the DLC is still regionalized. So if let's just say you buy Metal Gear Solid or whatever from Metal Gear, the Phantom Pain or whatever it is, if you from the UK and you have a US account, any download you buy from your US account will not work with that UK game because they regionalize all the content. So, I mean, and then you would have to create a UK account, and then you would have to pay for everything in pounds, and you have to track down PSN cards. Yeah. So for big games like that, you're better off just buying it at a local store.
Yeah. Well, they do the same thing on it's similar on the Nintendo Switch. You can make a Japanese account and get all the Japanese games.
Yeah.
But you have to get like a Play Asia card and pay in yen and
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, if it's a game released all over the world, then you're just better off buying it locally. I always tell people, well, I bought because you always see on PlayStation.com, my account is from Fredonia, but I bought a game from Atlantis, and my download of the costume with this guy who has wearing a ballerina tutu doesn't work. Is there any fix? No, there's no fix. What do you mean there's no fix? There's no fix. You have to buy everything has to match. Oh man, don't they know this is the 21st century, man? Don't they know we live in a global society? Like, no, we're not the United Federation of Planets just yet. Go away. All those laws didn't disappear.
It'd be nice if just everything were region free, because I mean they have the technology just to do it. There's no reason. And we're in a day and age where we can just mail order anything we want pretty much anyway.
Well, they don't have region locking yet on 4K Blu-ray, by the way.
Well, the thing is though, with a lot of stuff is that a lot of things, there's a lot of things like language, like dedicated language laws. Like Switzerland has a law where that anything official has to be any official business, French, Italian, and German all have to be treated equally, but not necessarily English, even though the majority of people in Switzerland speak English. But if you're doing any sort of business officially, it has to be in French, German, or Italian. I believe those are the three languages. So, and Canada has the Canadian language laws. So, and in Germany, you cannot. In Germany, Germany gets a slightly different version of games than the rest of the EU, as does like Spain and Italy and Sweden and Norway and Finland. And I mean, everybody gets their own version of games. So there's subtle differences. Like the UK version of The Last of Us or Uncharted will be slightly different than the German version, because German law says you can't have swastikas, you can't have this, you can't have the X, Y, and Z. I mean, like I said, there are certain laws and they have to comply with those laws. So everybody gets their own games. And if you go on GameFAQs, you can see what the game coding, the CUSA. It's this the PS4 games are called. They're coded by like a six digit code called CUSA. Then you'll see the 6-digit code. And like I said, for certain regions, that's how you can tell when you buy one. So Europe gets everyone's a winner version. No, not really. Yeah. So somebody had a question.
Actually, while you're looking for that one, Carrie Dalton, what was the biggest show movie yet not released on DVD Blu-ray that has never had a release? The original versions of Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, Dead School says, what does region locking do for them? I said, well, it's not. It's more to comply with local laws. That's what it is. I mean,
right. It mainly has to do with regional licensing and laws and other things.
Content laws. I mean, there's
because
there's even some games that are banned. I mean, if you go to Saudi Arabia, if you go to the Arab Emirates regions, you can't buy a copy of Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right, Ryan. The German version of Wolfenstein censors out Nazi iconography.
But it's Wolfenstein.
Well, that's
from what I've learned, like Germany censors out a lot of the violence too, and a lot of the gore.
I don't think so.
No, maybe not. Maybe it was somebody else I was thinking of.
You want to know what's weird though?
Well, one thing the digital. Oh, go ahead.
It's pretty much the same game all over the world, but the Japanese version of Metal Gear Solid, the original PS1 version, is actually a little slower pace than the American version. The American version is a little faster paced game because Americans like a little faster action. But it's essentially the same game, just the pace at which you play is a little faster in the American version. I'm sorry. And the other thing too is that the interface in a lot of Japanese games, you probably know this, Random, at least on the PlayStation, you press the circle button to confirm and the X to cancel. In America, it's the X to confirm and the circle to cancel.
Yeah. Well, even going between platforms too, like just depending on which confirm and cancel button, sometimes it's confusing.
Yeah. Well, Japan, the circle represents the sun, and the sun is positive. You know, it's warm. It gives you warmth. That's where they get that from. The rising sun. German and Japanese versions don't show dead bodies and gibs. Some German games have robots instead of humans. Yeah. Breaking: Iron Fist is canceled. Oh, whoa. No way. Iron Fist got canceled.
Is it breaking news? Is it official?
Is it official? Iron Fist canceled at Netflix. Whoa. This is pretty big news, actually. No season 3 for Marvel drama.
6:23 Pacific. Yes, here we go. Let me link it to you. Here we go.
Iron Fist canceled by Netflix.
I'm not surprised, especially if Disney and Marvel have anything to say about it. They're going to want to end all that kind of stuff as soon as possible, so everything's on their streaming.
Well, I thought that this Marvel was Disney wasn't going to show the racier stuff on their.
They're not, but they're still not gonna. You know what I mean. They don't want you going to other places to watch their shit. Generally, they're gonna want you to concentrate completely on that. So as soon as that stuff's over with, we're not gonna see anything call back to that. As the Marvel Netflix shows are done, they're done. I wouldn't be surprised if we're on the final season of every single one of them. I'll be surprised if we get any more seasons after the ones that are already in production. I'm just saying, because I think their contract will be up soon too.
Well, Iron Fist sucks, though. I mean, that's the thing. Let's just not.
No one's surprised about that one.
Let's not mince words here.
I've not heard anything positive about it. That's for sure.
I think they'll keep Daredevil going for a while. Yeah, but oh man,
I think this third season is going to probably be the last season of Daredevil too. I could be wrong, but
we'll have to wait and see. Danny fans of Danny were pissed this season pretty much made Colleen Iron Fist. Yeah, okay. Can we please stop saying that? Who was the showrunner? It wasn't Scott Buck, was it this year? Can we please stop? But Scott Buck pretty much ruined it from the get-go, and I hate using the word SJWs, but they had to stick their big fat nose. The white saviors. Shut up.
Well, there's a better name for them floating around. They're called NPCs. They're basically non-interactive, non-player characters. It's a video game term where basically they for the people in chat who might not know, they kind of recite back the same programmed response, like, oh, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a man baby. And it's just like talking to an NPC in Skyrim. You really can't interact with them. They have the pre-programmed response, and I love that term for them. I really love that.
It's Jessica Jones, Luke Cage still on Netflix. Yes. Jessica Jones just had another season.
They have no souls.
NPC, yes.
They have no souls. I love that. Yeah, Then they have like the blank face memes that they're going out or that they're putting on top of people who are just mindless corporate. Yeah.
Scott Buck ruined the Inhumans and he ruined the Iron Fist. I mean, why is this man? I got to find out if Scott Buck is doing anything. Hold on, Scott Buck.
Any relation to Uncle Buck?
Just a look on his face. He's story Scott Buck, Marvel, and IMAX. Iron Fist gets a new showrunner. What is he up to lately? Producer credits, writer 13 credits. Let's see who's got. He's something. He was a producer on Coach. Yeah, he was a producer on Coach.
That's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
It was like over. That's probably 30 years ago, almost, right?
Yeah, he was. He's got something in the works called Phobit.
Fitbit.
Phobit. Fobbit. Producer credits. Iron Fist, Dexter, Inhumans, Rome, 6 Feet Under, Nikki, The Oblongs, which was terrible, The Naked Truth, Coach, writer, Phobit, Iron Fist, Inhumans, Dexter, Prego, short, writer, Rome, 6 Feet Under, Tremors, Nikki, Everybody Loves Raymond, he wrote one episode, The Oblongs, Coach, Charlie Hoover.
What was The Oblongs?
The Oblongs was an animated series.
Oh, okay.
I think it was on MTV or something like that. But hopefully he won't get another job in Hollywood. That's what I'm hoping, at least.
No, they have their same 5 writers that they pick from, and they all end up on Star Trek Discovery, and they're all terrible.
Oh, that means he's in line to get a Star Trek Discovery writing job.
Obviously.
Dead School. What was the hell of the point of creating Iron Fist's arch nemesis if they were going to have Colleen Wing fight him? It would be like Vicky Vale fought. Yeah, so they can show so they can show she don't. They can show she don't need no man. That was the point.
No more male bashing. I'm so tired of it.
You got to talk. You got to talk to the people in charge. I mean,
they won't listen to me. All I can do is like scream to the wind, and then I get called a racist or a sexist, or oh, you're transphobic because you don't like the new She-Ra. You're LGBT phobic. You're sexist. I am part of the LGBT community. Get bent, people.
I identify as a basketball.
Well, that's why you have that attack helicopter thing going around too. I identify as an attack helicopter because they know how ridiculous it is. Mm-hmm. Because it is. It's goddamn ridiculous.
That makes me uncomfortable. Anything that makes me uncomfortable in 2018 should be illegal.
No, you should be illegal for being uncomfortable by everything. Go to your safe space. We don't need you.
Okay. Well, I'm out of material.
Yeah, I think we probably talked about everything we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
And Tom's asleep.
That heart. I used to pretend. My niece. I used to pretend I was sleepwalking. I would pretend I was sleep eating. Walk around.
No, but it's funny because I've been wanting to try and keep these like around an hour so they're at least watchable for other people, but we always keep pushing them out to like.
Well, it's Friday night, so
yeah.
And I ain't got nobody.
All right,
money because I ain't got no money because I didn't get paid.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, let's wrap this up then. Okay.
I know it's the real song Saturday night, but shut up.
Yeah. All right, everybody. If you like what we do, even if you don't like what we do, please subscribe anyway. Just subscribe anyway. What's it gonna hurt you, really? To subscribe to one more channel?
It doesn't cost you a damn thing to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe thing. And
yeah, you can ignore it if you want. I mean,
how often can you say that nowadays? Mm-hmm. Free.
Well, if you like if you like what we do, subscribe, click the bell icon. That way you're notified of all the latest content. Head on over to our Patreon. You could support the channel for as little as $1 a month. You can see all kinds of bonuses, early notification mini documentaries. You can check out Behind the Edge making of videos, lost episodes, bloopers, outtakes, and a whole lot more. Check out Random's channel. Random, tell them about your channel.
It's Mecha Random 42. I made fun of Chuck Wendig today as well, and I've been going after She-Ra and Star Trek Discovery and all that kind of cool stuff. And I have Random Game User 42 on Twitch, and I have a Patreon and all that good stuff. And thank you so much, Kush, for the $2 Live Long and Prosper super chat. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We do appreciate that. As we always say, give till it hurts. So, yes, and go over to Overlord DVD. Check out your resident supervillain, Dictor Van Doomcock. He's got a new video.
Rumor has it he's working on a Chuck Wendig video.
Oh, that'll be fun. So check out his channel. Check out Captain Robert April's channel. Check out Gary from Nerdrotic over at Nerdrotic. Check out Susan got her own channel.
Susan's on our channel and Nerdrotic, but she actually is the editor from 1428elm.com. So yes, she is an official legit journalist.
Yes,
and all around awesome person.
Yes, so check that out. You can find me over on Twitter at Robot Shlomo. You can find Tom Connors at somewhere on Twitter. Tom, where can I find you on Twitter?
At Thomas Connors Jr. And the links are in the description.
Random? What's your Twitter?
It's Random Monkey, MNKY. That's also my Nintendo handle.
Okay, you can find me over at Robot Shlomo on Twitter. I'm the only Robot Shlomo. Check out my channel. I'm working on a new video. Actually, well, I'm not working on it. I got to take the video off my camera.
You're always working on a new video.
Yeah, I got to take the. I had to install the driver so to recognize the video from the camera. So it's an old Sony Handycam that I bought, and to record stand up, and I just have.
But you never record because I told you I wanted to see it when you incorporated some of the bits I gave you. But never mind.
I haven't gotten stand up gigs lately. Jake's hogging all the stand up. Jake's hogging up.
Give
all
him
the
to him, man.
Yeah. When Jake finally gets out of the shack, I mean, he gets all this good stage time.
Did anyone check on him?
Yeah, we got to go check on Jake. By the way,
we've been checking on him periodically.
Not it.
Not it.
But if you're not going to use the bits, give them to him.
And we actually we got to we also have to feed Melman. Yeah, Jake is hanging out with Melman. You know, Melman's looking kind of hungry, so we're worried. Yeah, so we got to feed Melman while we're at it. So anyway, also we got to check on Ren. She's out there too. So we got 3 people. We got 3 people to check on: Jake, Melman, and Ren. Where's Andre been?
Actually, speaking of Ren, I think she dropped a video the other day.
Yes, check out Ren. Where's Andre? Andre's actually sleeping right now.
Sleeping.
Yes, he's got that wife of his. He's got to keep her happy. So anyway, so check us out. Like I said, check us out. Check us out on Patreon. Check us out on our channels. Check us out on Twitter. And any parting words?
Cucumber.
Random?
Shoehorn.
Boutros. So
Mexmen.
Hey, Holmes.
Now I need tacos.
TM.
What? This
TM.
is like remember TM. Remember the intro to cards last week on X-Men. Previously on X-Men. Remember this. Hey, Holmes. Check it out. What happened last time on the Mexmen? Okay. So all right, we're gonna have more fun stuff for you, and actually coming soon, the Mexmen. I don't think so, but anyway, all right, that's it, everybody. Have a good weekend. If we don't talk to you, stay safe, take care of each other, no drinking or driving, and we will see you next time.